I fucking dare you. And I don't even own this shit. God damn it. I hate makes
Is
me
that
angry, bro.
Oh, that's Chronicles Definitive.
That's
Yeah,
2
exactly.
and X.
Fuck off. Fuck off.
Why you gotta fuck off, man? Yeah, you need to get on that shit. That's
the only special edition I don't have.
The best Xenoblade, man.
No.
So far. No, I got this. I got the collector's
Charles
or
like,
whatever
no,
for Wii.
no, already.
No, listen. I will say Xenoblade 1 is more complicated than what I originally expected, but it's also
I got a collector's edition for Wii, so that counts.
It's kind of it's not as bad because the way it's introduced to you in the game is that it's like incremental. So like the first thing, anytime that shit comes up and says, "Oh, your friend's about to be attacked by like a high damaging move," you shield. That's all you're fucking doing. If it's
don't forget to run up to your teammate and you can tag them as well and say, and they'll do a move to help defend themselves.
You can either encourage them or you can warn them, and it'll give you the prompt. Yeah, in some situations you literally aren't gonna be able to help it. Like in some situations, if you don't have the Monado already set up for it, they're gonna get hit before you get the Monado charge to get to shield to activate the ability. Because I've died a decent number of times. Like I would say it's pretty hard in comparison to like 2. 2's hard, but not in the same way.
Seriously, you got to strategize with the combat. What? Let's go.
Well, what fucked me up? What fucked me up is that one has a habit of like putting you in these situations, and man, like, all right, you're just gonna have to swing on them, and so some of the bosses, I'm like, oh, we're doing this shit where they can't be hurt. The one thing I don't like is the fact that every mech hunt. Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
Are you muted?
See, I can't even see the chat, man. Bogus ass monitor.
Oh, you're not muted. I'm muted. Discord probably updated.
Check. All right, there we go.
It'll get easy. It'll get easier, Terrell. You got Charlotte. You know she'll start picking up soon and getting the ether attacks in.
My problem is that Charlotte gets fucking targeted all the goddamn time, and as a healer, she ain't built for that.
It's that body. I know you.
She ain't built for that shit. Like for some reason in 1, I wish I could use all my party members more often than like 3, and then in 2. In 2, it didn't bother me as much, but in 1, I'm like, bro, I feel like I need my whole fucking crew.
It's rhyme time.
It's what a bunch of jokers. Like
I'm really feeling this.
I'm really feeling it. But yeah, he's a fucking because like they still have like the whole like break, topple, even like it's not the same thing, but you can still do similar shit like topple and daze and putting enemies to sleep and shit. My biggest problem is that like sometimes I'm like, fuck. If I switch out certain characters, I just lose that ability to do that shit. Whereas with 2, all I had to do was equip the proper blade, and I could still get the spike or the launch or the topple off. Fucking.
That's one thing I never.
Don't tell me you have an RPG with characters with specific skill sets. It's incredible.
I'm not. Listen,
crazy. I love it.
Listen. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying when I come from a game that gives me more freedom about how I want to do my teams.
Yeah, I can imagine it's hard. It's hard going back.
It's a little restrictive where I'm like, fuck. I think only Ryan and Dunban have topple techniques. So if I'm out here with Shulk and the girls, I ain't getting shit off other than breaks. That's it. I'm just breaking fuckers. I'm like,
just want to say
it's not as extreme, but it'd be like Juice going back from playing Final Fantasy 7 Remake and then say jumping onto Final Fantasy 12. Where even though it's still like, free movement and stuff, it's different enough to feel, that difference between the, greatly between the two.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Clocked. Juice wants to see the individual hair follicles on characters. If he can't see that, then the game's 0 out of 10 trash.
Hey, I ain't gonna complain about individual Charlotte hair follicles,
Wait a minute, in Xenoblade Definitive Edition, that's the one you're playing.
Yeah.
Can you have them like naked?
You can have them in their
questions.
bikinis.
Robert,
have
is your
them
mic is your regular mic on or your webcam?
You
mic?
got your mic wrong, Robert.
Oh, do
What's
I?
your-
Okay, hold on.
It's probably your fucking
I
webcam.
can't be
Mike.
mad
Yeah,
at him
probably.
because my
So-
mic's
Bruh.
So Juice can attest to this. I fucking like when I first got Fiora in the beginning of the game. The first thing I decided to do was like I'm gonna give her some new equipment, and the new equipment just boiled down to like a fucking bikini.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
I spent the fucking
That's
like
what
the
I'm
first
talking about.
10
First thing he
minutes.
did was equip bikinis. I'm like,
I want to put this in.
That's
Let me put this in context. It was literally the best equipment I had in my fucking items. All right, it
Sure.
wasn't like
and that's
Of course
why
it
when I
was the
jumped
best.
on the stream too.
It's just about
felt like- I
about
felt-
appreciating that new Fiora model. Okay, at the end of the day, you
Oh,
know,
yeah, I
they
fucking like Fiora
remade
model
it,
a lot.
and you just want to appreciate the effort
On the
that they
Wii,
put
yeah,
in.
that would just look like a couple squares and some.
No, but
bright
not only
texture.
that
Come
though,
on.
I'm also
Come on.
I'm also thinking about Shulk, man, because he's in Smash. That dude's in his underwear, right? So do
Yeah.
they have that?
You can do it.
yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can
Like
do
I have
that.
the whole squad. Let's
Robert's
go.
You can have basically you can have
The fact
me and
that
Retro were
Definitive
talking about
Edition
this the other day. You can have what's it called when you can keep their full gear on.
Yeah, I was about
then
to say
have a cosmetic.
Definitive Edition
Oh,
added
yeah,
the
yeah.
the appearance thing. They
Yeah,
added like
yeah.
you can have
Yeah.
appearance
That's
outfits. I'm
something
like,
I
oh,
love.
thank God.
I'd love that in
Absolutely love
Elden Ring, to be honest.
I love it that X does that stuff. I love it when games do that because sometimes I often in games do not equip the best gear because I don't want to look like an idiot. You know, I'm not going to wear like a giant helmet that looks all stupid when you have like cool armor. No, so I like it that you can just like have visual gear, like, and I love it that X
Yeah,
does.
that is cool. I do like
Hey,
that.
look,
That is
that's
cool.
the reason why I hated it that in Xenoblade 2 you couldn't get to that until the DLC, and even then it still took up like a fucking slot in like your passive buffs for the blades, and I'm like, come on, yo, what the fuck? So I very hope that Xenoblade 3 is like, fuck it, it's like Xenoblade Definitive Edition where it's like a separate thing. It's just appearance outfits. I'm like, cool, that's fine. The models look really good though. I really like the way the models look. And also I was reminded the other night that the original Xenoblade had jiggle physics. It just wasn't insanely pronounced. Didn't know that at all. Didn't know that at all.
That over. They didn't bring the trees moving over though. It was weird omission that I don't know.
Hey,
If that was...
listen. Were the world that big, the only thing they cared about was the character models. The character models, yeah.
It's weird that the Wii version had moving trees and branches and stuff, and then they didn't do that. I was like, I wonder if that was
That
a time
switch difference.
situation.
88 megabits of RAM, bro.
Oh, you bitch.
So
You have to
my
wonder. You have to
goodness.
wonder though. You have to wonder though. You know, with them being on the Wii and really pushing that console for what it's trying to achieve. Sometimes I think developers are like, let's really see what we can do compared to if they got more powerful hardware. Sometimes they will not necessarily, you know, push on certain aspects. You know, they don't have that need or desire to say, no, you know, we don't need to go for that extra effort. We'll just do it like this. Whereas, you know, you feel a bit more sometimes empowered by limitations. You know, we spoke about that before, didn't we?
Yeah.
just like that Mario
And
Party.
Reggie want to take credit for putting Wii Sports and shit
Ah,
into,
do you know what?
into the
Do
Wii.
you know what?
but-
You're talking
but he
I
Reggie.
knew that was gonna happen. I knew that was
Yeah.
gonna happen.
But he didn't want to
Go
put no. He want to take credit for not giving us Xenoblade Chronicles and shit. Took the fans damn near killing themselves to get that game over here. So get the fuck out of here, man.
If we talk Reggie, I know Juice will have his topics, but if we talk Reggie, then I got my own thoughts. So I'll jump in.
I was just gonna because he was talking about you're talking about the limitations. I've been, thanks to T sharing one of the game historian videos on Super Mario World, I binge watched like a dozen of the videos or so, and the Mario Paint one, thought I was getting bored about halfway through, but then it took a more interesting turn. But that's what they meant. That was the whole point of people made like TV show animation just by recording their short animations in Mario fucking Paint, and then like just doing one little section and doing more, and then like recording it and just blending it together. And I'm like, that I remember my buddy had Mario Paint back in the day, and we tried, couldn't get the music to really. I couldn't figure out how to like make a legit song, and the painting felt a little
Robot.
stiff. But you know,
Wait and
so
see.
that just kind of made me think of that. And one of the more interesting things I had learned or realized by watching that, or I'd forgotten, I knew it, but I had forgotten, is how long Europe and America had to wait sometimes for these games. Like,
Yeah,
was it Super
Dude.
Mario Brothers 3 was 3 years after the Japanese release and when it hit
That's
Europe.
crazy.
We got ours last 92, 93.
Super Mario World and the Super NES were already out in the US and
Yeah, I think it was late 92 we got ours,
What
like
the fuck,
November
that's
92 or something.
hell,
And-
just consoles in general. How long
Yeah.
it took?
but that game especially
the
seemed like the
Japanese launch.
longest. Wait, I don't what I
Yeah.
know there's a lot of different
That's
languages
why-
over in Europe. That probably
I said we saw most of us saw Mario Bros 3 in the Wizard before we even saw
Yeah.
it anywhere else. I know you
That's
joke. That was our
crazy.
reveal of Mario Bros
Yeah,
3
yeah.
in a movie. You know,
That's
it's crazy.
That's why the GameCube is always such a weird discussion to have for us when we talk about launch games, because the GameCube launched like half a year later, some shit for us, and our launch lineup was completely different because of that.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
we
didn't know
had a
People
lot
that.
talk
more.
like GameCube had like a shitty launch lineup or whatever. That wasn't really the case for us.
They had
What
third
extra
party
did you
Yeah,
guys
the
games,
have
shitty-
but
then? What?
They had a shitty launch in Japan. I think the American launch was pretty decent.
That's
it
actually
was
kind of
decent, I would
surprising.
say. I had trouble picking 3 games for the pre-order list. I had to pick 3. And
Yeah, that's what Juice always says. That's what I'm thinking of.
it was.
Well, that's because it's juice.
I mean, I picked Super
man.
Monkey Ball.
Y'all
because
call for
the
that
Super
one.
Monkey Ball.
Super Monkey
Luigi's-
Ball is GOAT though. That's
Luigi's
greatness.
Mansion. Well, I didn't know that. Luigi's Mansion, Wave Race 60 or Wave Race Blue Storm,
That's all good shit.
and
You got Rogue Squadron as well, didn't you?
Rogue
'Cause-
Yeah,
Squadron.
Rogue Squadron.
and then
We had Madden 2002, which
Madden.
looked real nice.
Dude, that's like 5 games you're picking up.
That's great shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
I
What
had
you
no-
talking about?
I had no interest in Luigi's Mansion personally, so I went with Monkey Ball, Rogue Leader, and then Madden. So
I was hating on Luigi's Mansion too, but I ended up buying it anyway. It's like, where my Mario at? What is this shit?
But
I'm sure-
it had a Mario button, man. That's all we needed.
I honestly feel like I made the right choice now, and even in hindsight, I think those were the 3 best games for me to have gotten. I put a lot of
And
time.
Pikmin came out like a month later, right? Pikmin.
I
Smash?
still class. I'm sure Pikmin was day one launch for us. I can't remember. Maybe
It
it
was
was.
That's what
probably
I
day
thought
one for
too.
you
I
guys,
don't
yeah.
remember being that soon because I know Smash
Maybe it was a
came
little
out
later.
in, like,
I can't
December.
remember. My brain's ringing.
Yeah, Smash was December. I think
I
Pikmin was
thought
like
Pikmin
either
was the
late
next
November.
year. Was like the following, like early the following year.
I'll have a
look
quick
that
Google.
shit up.
Rob, do your super Google
Where's my
skills, man.
fucking phone?
There we go.
I'd be curious
It's
because I don't
Googling
remember. I just remember
It's
Smash was
Googling
like the
time,
first like
baby.
real game people got hyped
Cool
for.
box.
But yeah, that's
It
because
says,
because now we're talking
2001?
about like
2001 for Pikmin. Is that?
Come on,
is
man.
that-
You talking about me?
What?
I
No,
know
we
this
we,
shit
we
came
got our
out.
GameCube in 2002. I think it was.
Pikmin was
And that's because
2001.
now,
Sure.
and now we're talking about,
October 26, 2001.
and now we're talking
I
about
thought the GameCube came
Xenoblade,
out
and we're
in
gonna get
November.
like fucking
That's for
Xenoblade
Japan. That was for
Chronicles.
Japan.
Gonna get like
Oh, that's
Xenoblade Chronicles
Japan's? Okay.
3. Gonna get like the special edition, but you're gonna get the game. You're gonna get all your shit like half a year later. Like it's just the weirdest fucking shit.
I
Yeah,
didn't
there we
see
go.
that.
We got our GameCube in 2002. Whenever it was. Fucking name.
Mhm.
That's
Robert,
crazy,
did
man.
you guys
Yeah.
figure out the
Yeah.
U.S. release date for Pikmin yet?
Yeah, I just said it was.
Oh,
it
it's
was 2001, December.
Yeah, December
they went
2nd.
Smash
Told
and
you, man.
Pikmin.
I told you. December. I
Well,
know
I
talking
think
about.
they were
A
still.
month
He's
later.
like, swing on
A
him. Swing
month
on him,
later.
T.
That's crazy.
You talking about me here? This me.
T, swing on him.
Remember shit like it was yesterday.
And then
bro.
Because they found
And,
Smash and Pikmin out that same.
And Smash was what? This is Smash. Hold on.
Smash was
November
December
21st
then
or December.
Pikmin came
December
a
3rd.
few months
December
later
3rd.
for us.
The same day as
Yeah.
as Smash Ultimate,
Well, yeah, same date.
or was it Smash? Yeah, it was
Oh,
Smash
yeah.
Ultimate that did December
Yeah.
3rd, right? That's crazy. What are the odds
So-
of that?
And the Wii U covers that GameCube.
Actually, was
Yeah,
that? That was a
that's
pretty
good.
strong. That was a pretty good
Right.
fucking launch. Jesus Christ.
That's
Mhm.
like actually a really good launch because
is.
especially within a couple weeks later you have
what I'm
Smash
saying.
Brothers
I don't know
Yeah,
Melee,
I
what
was
you're
talking
talking
about
about,
the
man.
day one.
the very day one thing.
Because I had
I
a
mean,
The
pre-order
problem
3
with
games.
the launch, there was a dark cloud over the
Yeah.
no pun intended, it was a dark cloud over it because of September 11th. It was still down there, you know.
That.
Yeah,
and,
it was just a bad time.
It was
in
just
the
it was just
US.
bad timing.
Yeah,
And they couldn't have
Yeah.
seen that coming. That
that's
shit
actually
just-
like
No,
really
it just
damn good
happened.
when I
No,
think
that-
about it. What the hell? Fucking hell.
Nobody saw that shit coming.
Because me
apparently.
and my buddy were gonna get together to play Dreamcast like after work that on September 11th. We're gonna play.
Dreamcast.
I had Unreal Tournament because that was like the closest thing to GoldenEye, and then I still went over there, but it just wasn't right to play video
Didn't feel
games,
right.
you know.
Sounded like you begrudgingly went over there, like, man.
Yeah.
I guess
I'm telling
gotta-
you guys. I mean, you probably don't remember the way we remember because we're old and shit. But it felt like I couldn't enjoy shit at all. I felt wrong trying to even enjoy things
Mm-hmm.
at
Oh,
that
yeah?
time. It was just it just
it wasn't a good
you,
time.
you said
I
you
was
said
felt
you,
really
you
bad for
said you were playing.
Nintendo and Xbox because they both got screwed over.
You said you were playing the Dreamcast, and you have to like for us, the Dreamcast was discontinued in the year 2000. Where the console was discontinued in the year 2000. Yeah, it lasted 2 years, but then Phantasy Star Online came out in 2002. So we were still playing the Dreamcast games.
Yeah.
You think still playing the Dreamcast when the GameCube launched, you know, and we were playing
Japan
Phantasy
was
Star
too.
Online and stuff. We were still getting games until 2002, 2003 or whatever. But God, it was a crazy time, man. Crazy time.
Well, that's why everything's so goddamn expensive on Saturn and Dreamcast because they still put out really good shit after the system was basically dead, like Phantasy Star Online, and obviously from Sega Saturn you had
and Rez came
Panzer
out
Dragoon
2002
Saga.
So
and
when did the
stuff.
Dreamcast launch for you guys? What year?
What for us in the UK?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2000. No,
2000.
no.
It was
my brain.
September 9th.
No, I was
99.
working. It was 99.
Wasn't it early? Was it?
My brain.
We got
I
it
was working
September
in
9th,
a video game
99.
shop when they launched. I took the day off. Right
And
there,
then a
my
year
brain,
later,
man. I'm
it
telling
was
you,
$99, which seems kind
that I'm dying.
of fitting that
Nice.
it launched on $99.99 and then it was $99, like less than a
Yeah,
year later.
1999. It was October.
Saddest shit ever, man. That was the saddest.
I went to the
Yes.
store. It was a Myers for those that live in the Midwest. They're like, "What are you looking for?" I'm like, "Sega Dreamcast. It launches today." We got some boxes. Let me go look in the back. So I wait like 15 minutes. It was like 11 o'clock on the 8th. It wasn't even the 9th. I'm like, yeah, we just brought all the games and stuff. So I grabbed that and Soul Calibur and an extra controller. And me and my buddy went home. We played for a couple hours. Our minds were just blown. Still, Soul Calibur.
Yeah,
still has the
you
best
had Soul
animation.
Calibur as a launch
Soul
title,
Calibur.
man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that's
Come on.
one of the best launch
Holy
games.
shit.
And,
Well, we also had Dynamite Deca, Dynamite Cop. Trash.
Yeah, it was
I bought that
average. It was a shame. It was a shame because
I bought it because I was trying to get that same feels of a Die Hard trilogy and shit.
Die Hard Arcade. It was a
Die Hard
sequel to
Arcade.
it,
That's what I'm
yeah.
trying to say.
all right, let me go to Retro Death real quick. I watched your vlog, and I know your thoughts, but let's skip all that and just tell me. Let's focus on. I think it was the cinematic for Chapter 8. I remember that being
Oh,
pretty
man,
epic.
flame shield up, retro flame shield up.
I'm actually gonna take this 'cause I've never even got this. I don't.
So
Yeah,
just tell me
Xenoblade
your
Chronicles X, you mean.
impressions as a
You just go like this when you're done or something.
I'll go like
Okay.
this.
Okay.
So you mean Xenoblade Chronicles X? You mean my thoughts on Chapter 8?
Just like the cinematic, because I know what you don't like
I
about it, but I don't know what.
Absolutely fucking loved all the scenes where you had the mechs, the skulls, doors, whatever, that were like racing, and then in the middle of the war, you see them do all this cool shit, and then it was super anime, like, you know, like old school anime shit, and then they like have all these fucking cool ninja moves, and then in the air they transform, shooting all around, like that
Is
shit
that the
was
one where the
just
base
so good.
got attacked, where New LA got
Yeah, like
attacked?
it starts on the outside and they walk in. My one gripe with that is you had like a really cool cutscene with the entire army going into the city, and then all of a sudden the cutscene kind of jagged a bit, and all of a sudden there was grass and trees everywhere. Like there was pop-up in the cutscene, and I thought that was really strange. But apart from that, like I absolutely loved the entire scene. Like it was amazing. I felt like I was like in a war, and I was like, holy shit, now this fucking shit is taking off, you know. And like I said, especially all the cutscenes with the skulls in the air actually fighting. I was like sitting like this, man. This shit was
Dude, I
like
remember
fucking intense. It was really good.
I remember being so motivated to go destroy those fuckers after that cutscene. Like I'd never been that motivated in a game probably at that point to like
The
go
one
defeat
thing
enemies.
the one thing that killed it a little bit is that I felt you weren't really allowed to fight in the war. It's like stay at the door and they give you like 2 waves of like 3 enemies. I was like, man, like, just give me like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 weaker level enemies so it feels a bit more, you know. That was just plus. It's like you're the strongest people technically there, and I'm standing here on the floor, you know. It was a bit weird, but all the cutscenes and shit were incredible.
Yeah, I
My
remember that
one
being really
thing.
good.
My one thing that was kind of weird, even though they address it, is like, okay, so these people do all this shit because they want to get that one door in the hangar. That was like absolutely fucking obvious. And then Elma, she's sitting there, but she mumbles it to herself, and then it's like, I don't know, the whole thing was kind of like weird because it was so fucking obvious, the whole thing, you know. It's like you clearly came there for a reason, but
Is
I
this when
love
you,
that
is
shit.
this when you
Watch it
meet
in
the
Japanese or
Thundercats as well? That's when you see the Thundercats in a hangar.
No.
I have the game in English. I didn't even check if you could set it to Japanese because I've been playing it in English since the start. This one, I don't know if you can change it or not because I think Xenoblade Chronicles 2 even I think they patched it in that you could change it afterwards.
Oh no, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was like day 1 patch though.
Day
That was day
one.
one.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they want to patch it in just like Breath of the Wild
So
and
was
stuff.
the
I never
was
checked
the-
it.
There's no patch. Did you download the
All right, we can come back.
Yeah,
the data packs and stuff?
the 20 gig, what was it,
It's
40
legit,
fucking
Rob.
gigs
Sorry,
before
Rob, sorry,
launch.
No, you get.
Yeah,
We're
it's, yeah,
discussing
like
if it had a Japanese voice voice option.
I thought
Oh.
it did.
I guess I don't know.
I don't remember off the top of my head, I'll be real with you.
but I
thought it
probably
did, though.
wouldn't change it anymore because now I'm starting chapter 9. You know, there's like 12 chapters, I think.
Yeah.
So what
So I'm used to
requirements-
these voices now in my head already. I can't change it like.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So you haven't beaten X yet then. You're still working on it, right?
I'm in chapter. Well, I'm about to start chapter 9 because first you have to do all this shit to be able to be allowed to start the chapter. You know, that's the main thing. I
Okay.
really just can't fucking.
The main
stand.
thing is I want your reaction to what Juice views as the best character model in the game when you get there. Because
Keep updating you guys like where I am and that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
it's fine.
But again, it's like start chapter 9, and I'm doing kind of like a robot thing because I just don't give a shit, you know. I'm not gonna look for 20 fucking hours for one mission hidden somewhere in the world in order to be allowed to start the next chapter, you know. So they're like, oh, in order to start chapter 9, you have to put like a data probe at the entrance of a continent. I'm like, I can't fucking find this shit, you know. I can't find it fucking anywhere. This is bullshit. So I look it up.
I don't
You
know
gotta
why you
basically
have
go
such problems with that.
You gotta go and you gotta go. No, but listen, you have the continents on the map, you know. They force you and they don't tell you. You have to swim up outside of the map. There's literally lands outside the map. You have to
Oh, I know what he's talking about.
For a fucking hour. This is
I know what he's-
bullshit.
I
I never
know
would
what
have
he's
found
talking
that if
about.
I hadn't looked that up.
You
It's
told
not
me
that
I know
bullshit.
what he's talking.
See, it's
It's
been a
that
while since I
fucking-
played like any mission.
It's
Well,
that weird off-brand mission that requires you to kind of. The thing is, it gives you a general location.
Doesn't it give you like
but it-
guide you to where you kind of need to
It gives you a
go, right?
location, but it doesn't tell you that. Oh, by the way, you have to go up, and so you're like, well, I'm at the area. Well, no, you're at the area, but you're at the wrong elevation. I'm like, oh,
The whole thing was just kind of weird. But
fuck.
still, no matter, just to stay positive, kind of, you know, I love it. I still think it's an absolutely fucking gorgeous game. I'm walking around, I'm looking fucking everywhere. I'm like enjoying it. It's fucking a visual masterpiece still to this day. Like it's fucking, and I'm playing it, you know. Like the combat, I'm getting used to it, you know. I just wish it was more
Yeah.
spectacular, you know. But it's
Well,
still really fucking good, and I'm having fun.
You should watch a
I was
video
right.
on-
It is chapter 8 when you see the Thundercats in a hangar. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's why you said the Thundercats. Yeah,
I don't call them the Thundercats.
Oh,
My
yeah,
brain
I
was
knew
like,
exactly
Oh
what
man,
you
that's
meant.
straight up.
but I think you saw those characters before already. I feel like I've seen them
I
before.
think you've seen them earlier.
yeah, you do. You see them.
You were
before
saying
that.
Thundercats, and I knew what you're talking about. You were saying Thundercats, and I was even thinking like Voltron or some shit. I don't know
Wait a
why.
minute.
Let me check my
Oh, what the
Xenoblade Chronicles X photos.
Wait, Richard,
That's
how
something
many
I'm
hours?
missing.
How many hours are you in that game?
I'm at 50 hours now, 50
Okay,
something.
well, I'm surprised it's not 100. To be honest.
No, no,
I
no,
think we
no,
had
no,
our
it's
debate. He
developed.
probably had like 20 hours in the game.
I was
I'm
at like 45 hours when I started chapter 7 or 8, but I'm not gonna lie, sometimes you have like a mission, like sneak in to get past the goal, and I'm not even kidding. I'm running past all the fucking enemies. I don't give a shit.
Wait a minute. That means
Wall.
that means you're rushing through the
No wonder
game
you weren't
because
at the right level.
I am legit admitting I'm pushing through this fucking game because I want
No,
to get
because
to this
legit, I
You're
have-
not gonna be ready for that final boss battle and shit.
You're not gonna be ready for that final boss battle. I'll be real.
I
That's
don't
the easy
mind.
one.
Oh, I thought you
I don't mind having to grind later, like walking because I can like walk
No,
around
buddy,
and
You already
grind a bit,
complained
you
that
know.
you
grinding.
couldn't, that you weren't at level. You were required to be at level 30. I never once had to stop to.
I was
to
at
get
level
the level.
29 yet. You had to be required to be level.
I
30.
was
all-
always
it-
over.
I actually don't. I think I grinded at one point, but I think it was to beat a boss at one of these
I grinded
chapters.
my
I don't know.
ass off.
In Xenoblade Chronicles, the original on,
Oh, no.
on the Wii U,
Now that
I
bitch
had
is,
to
I think that,
grind like I got to a level
So,
20 boss. I was at 15.
the
I'm like,
one thing I will say this, Juice. The one thing that I didn't do when I played. All right, so I played Xenoblade 1 originally, and then I played it again for the definitive edition. The first time I played it, I didn't understand the concept of the unique monsters because I hadn't really dealt with it in the same way. Like X's way of dealing with unique monsters, although it's still there, it's not exactly the same. So, like in the original X, in Xenoblade 1, some normal looking enemies are essentially unique monsters, and my brain was like, "What the fuck is this?" So I remember getting my ass kicked by like 6 or 7 different creatures. Well, that's because the game just said, "Fuck you! I'm gonna just throw a bunch of fucking ridiculous ass creatures at you." As you say, the first game is way more unforgiving about throwing unique monsters at you. Like it's
Oh my God.
hell, that fucking what is it? That forest you go through, where if at night all the fucking high level version of enemies come out. What the fuck was that? That is some of the most terrifying shit I've ever done in a fucking Xenoblade game. That's ridiculous. Like the worst 2 gets is throwing maybe like 2 or 3 of them at you. Fucking, it's like the second or third area in the game. It's like, oh, here's a bunch of 80s, 90s, fucking 70s, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to play this right now.
I think in I think in
was my face frozen in
Rob,
some hideous
this is for
pose?
you.
What was
yes,
it?
it was. It was.
Oh,
Lovely.
I think in Xenoblade
Should I be
Chronicles
looking
2,
at this? Is this late
look.
in the game?
No,
That's why I
it's
said
just,
for
it's just
you.
Oh, nice.
yeah, it's fine. Also, the worst Nopon in the fucking series is in there, so you know.
What
fucking
is
hate
this?
Tatsu.
and
Tatsu is fucking
Name Tatsu-
trash.
Tatsu his name?
Yeah, Tatsu is absolutely garbage.
all of them hate him so much, man. Like I
fucking
can't.
beautiful goddamn game.
Look at
That,
this.
It is.
Look
It
at
is a
this.
gorgeous game.
they just
It is
repeat
a-
the same jokes though with what's the name? The girl on the right there.
That's not.
again.
Yeah,
About
May. I
the-
think.
May. Okay.
Or no, was it Lynn?
No, Lynn.
Was it-
Lynn.
Lynn.
There's
But
like-
he just has no
Play a
depth,
little
you
bit
know.
tonight.
Because
Bruh,
like
I feel like not. Granted, I just met Ricky, so I can't really talk about Ricky. But it's even compared to Tora. Tora was funnier in general.
Dora also has like a lot of depth and emotional shit attached to him. Like there's a,
USP is
you know, he's not
No,
just
my
like
only-
the butt of the joke.
I will say this though, Retro. The one thing I don't like about Tora is that they kind of renege on that in the DLC, which I
Oh,
won't
really?
spoil. Well, so you know the whole thing with his grandpa getting shot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of renege on that in a weird way to introduce a DLC Blade, and I'm like, what?
Oh, okay.
Why did you do this? What happened to that character
Look at
development?
Elma. Look at Elma.
You were this. I think this is literally still your favorite Xenoblade character, like dead ass.
Dude, come on.
Look at
That
that
was
water.
great.
That
yo.
looks better than Pokemon fucking Arceus by a mile.
Well, that is true. I would agree. I will agree with that. But hey, look, Pokemon Arceus
That's
so
a great. They
Oh,
did
hey,
a
look,
crazy job.
That's
in
what I
that
was looking
Hey,
for.
look, po-
Clocked it.
Pokemon Arceus sold 12 million
Yeah,
copies.
there's
so
my
fuck you,
there's my Chitara right there.
Oh,
Let's go.
badass.
It's
I would've called
Pokemon,
it- I don't initially call that Thundercats. I'll be real with you. My
That's
brain didn't.
Thundercat. I knew exactly.
I knew what he was
you meant.
talking about when he said
I
it,
get
but
what you mean, but like I didn't
Look
think
at
of
this.
Thundercats.
This one looks like that Transformer that it's purple, had the one arm with the gun.
Oh,
Like a
Megatron.
little Transformer. He was like,
Megatron.
no.
Oh no, you're talking
Yeah, yeah.
Soundwave.
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 Insecticons.
Yeah, and then I did a
Oh,
whole.
yeah,
Ninja-
this is
I did a
Ninja.
whole Ninja Turtles team.
Look at that. God damn.
This fucking
Fuck
game, man. Oops, I think that's it.
Ah, fuck, it's Splatoon.
Yeah,
Ah.
Splatoon. That
Better
did.
Splatoon than something
This
else.
is
You know what I'm
fucking
saying?
2015, and it released in Japan, and I think in early 2015.
14.
No,
No,
it's 14 in Japan. It's 15 in the US.
I thought it was like February, March of 2015 in Japan, and then we got it in.
Tell you right now, I think it was over.
Or am I
a year
thinking
that
of-
it was in Japan?
I'm gonna
I thought
say
it
I'm
was.
gonna pull T. I'm I'm gonna say I'm
No, no.
right. And
Okay.
it was early
What?
2015 in Japan
For what?
for Xenoblade
Wait, is it?
Chronicles X in Japan.
It was.
It was. You ready? How about to tell you?
I'm gonna
Or
say March or April.
say March. What do you think, T?
So here's my Leonardo
No, I'm asking you.
scale.
I actually thought it was 2014, but I could be wrong.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
I thought it
saying.
was
I thought
2014 too,
I
but
thought
it was
2015.
2015.
2015. I know it's
Almost right.
December for like the
Hopefully
U.S.
no
and
one's
Was there not
2015.
another game?
Oh shit! God damn it! I did it again.
What 2015?
What happened? You closed? Or something?
What was it? The release date in Japan?
2015.
What month?
April.
Yeah, you got it right.
Yes.
There.
Oh, it must be. Am I thinking of? There's another game that came out around the same
I actually
time.
thought it was
that
even further. I thought it was even
Devil's
like
Third.
or it came out even earlier.
Shut the fuck up! I'm here, game.
Maybe it was Devil's
You know
Third.
We don't
who's
talk
got,
about that.
Might have
you
been
know who's got
Devil's
2
Third.
sealed copies of Devil's Third? Fucking Kit from
Who?
Kit and Krista.
Really?
He's like, I'm not gonna sell
For
them.
real?
He has that, and he has sealed copies of like Fire Emblem game on GameCube that he just
Whoa.
got from working at
That's
Nintendo.
Yeah, that's pricey as
Look at this
fuck.
Aries scale.
Well, it's like
Look at this-
$600
Look at this
for a
Link
seal.
scale.
That's madness.
No, I think that might be it for Xenoblade.
But so is what is it? Game and Wario?
Wario's over $100, not brand new, not sealed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, let's.
because we're like, because we're like talking Xenoblade and stuff. So I just quickly want to take like a minute to finally say, because I have to like say it on stream and shit. Because everybody's always bitching the shit out of me about this, but like I finally finished Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I can say it on stream, like absolutely fucking amazing game. Absolutely love it. One thing I hate is like Robert has this thing where he hates when final bosses call like other enemies and shit.
Yeah,
I
don't
hate
like
it when final bosses have this one move kill everybody shit. That
I also
pisses
don't
me
like that.
shit
Yeah,
off. I had to devise this whole strategy to skip the final part to make such a massive attack, so I didn't have to deal with that bullshit.
This is my favorite
Holy
part
shit!
of
That
Xenoblade
game
Chronicles
is
2.
so fucking good.
man.
Somebody missed something there. Somebody messed up. Oh, there we go.
Game and Wario is $200 now, bro.
That's crazy.
Open.
Wow.
Open. Holy
I wish
shit.
I'd have like all my
I don't
photos like
care about Game
organized.
and Wario, man. It's not even that good. Shit.
It's not.
It's a cool game.
It's
I
not that
actually I enjoy it. What it is.
Thought I had more. Oh, wait, here we go. Sorry. I
You
jumped
play
ahead.
you play Mortal Kombat Retaliation or whatever it's called. Defiance. No, not Defiance.
It's not retaliation.
I keep on saying
It's special,
Retaliation.
special forces, yo. Mortal Kombat
G.I.
Special
Joe
Forces.
Retaliation?
All right, so
Vanilla
a
effect.
lot of stuff happened since the last podcast. Pretty
A lot.
sure Square had already sold during the last
Yeah, I
podcast.
think we talked
That was a
about
while ago
that.
already now.
Um,
A few more weeks ago.
I feel like there was other news other than Bethesda, the game delays.
There
Yeah,
are sales numbers
there
and
was a
shit.
40
Yeah.
outage.
Sales numbers. Terrell, we need you to
Nintendo's-
Google shit.
Nintendo sales numbers, and then there was the 40 outage for Xbox.
Yeah, and
Was that
people,
4 fucking days?
I didn't see
were-
that. Oh, I did.
I
hear
knew
that.
of
Although it
this,
never happened to me.
but the
I didn't
I
know
feel like the
Xbox
masses became aware of the DRM on Xbox with physical games. Even with physical games, if you don't have an online connection, you can't even play your single player games. So they apparently fixed it or are fixing that because
Well, the only way to do it.
Some people didn't have that problem. I didn't have it.
You have to make it your home Xbox, whatever, right? And it's not like an automatic default thing. But then if you do that, like let me just do that real quick. But you have to be online to make it your default Xbox, and then you can do it.
Right, if you haven't done it already, you're fucked.
Wait,
exactly.
is this
That's why a lot of people
for
are fucked.
is this for like Series X games or is it for like the backwards compatible games
I
as
think
well?
it's-
Is
I
it
think
for
it's for
anything?
anything. I think it's for anything.
Everything. Nothing with
Yeah.
play.
I'm so glad I don't own an Xbox because I didn't understand a single thing you guys just said. Like, it's just so stupidly
Wait,
convoluted.
what the fuck?
Oh,
yeah, if you
shit.
don't have an online connection, I don't know if it's a certain amount of time. You can't play even single player games. Like
Man,
But
shut the fuck up.
I don't get that because the whole point in the whole reason why the original Xbox One got beat the fuck up at when it showed itself
Was
was the
because
whole
of that.
DRM thing, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
you need to be online, the camera needs to be online, all this stuff, and they backpedaled on it, I believe, completely with the Xbox
Completely.
One. So
Pretty
now it's come back.
But it's come back secretly. They didn't say
It's
it.
clear
that was not like,
they
that wasn't like,
need that for something. They need it to be here for something, for money.
you know what
or
they need to
whatever.
get? You know what they need to get it for? And I think a big reason is for Game Pass, because you got to think about it. Let's say your Game Pass subscription is gone.
because the game's on
They got
your
to check.
system.
You got to check online to see that you're
Well,
actually.
that's, I mean, that's
But
the
if you
same
have a
for
disc in,
that's
that
the same for
should
Switch
be-
Online, isn't it?
I know, but I think that's legit. I would almost bet you that that's a big portion is why they just said, all right, well, that's like what we're doing. Essentially, like anything download, anything, especially membership related, which game is so integral to this game console that I think that's a big reason as to why they have that little switch flipped on. But it's funny because they totally did it under the radar without really telling people.
Okay.
It was not really known, and it wasn't like last time because with the Xbox One they made a whole big thing. This is what we're doing, blah blah blah. Now it's just like we're not gonna tell anybody. We're just gonna do it, and people will find out eventually.
Like that sneaky shit.
And
You know?
Mohammed, come on, bro.
Bruh, I mean, you
Just-
reaching, bruh.
Just
You
wait for
reaching.
the showcase. How many years in a row were next gen and those
Hold on.
groups saying
What do
wait
you
for
know about
E3?
Scorn?
Wait for E3.
Scorn looks cool, but you don't know if that's gonna be a good game, and it might be trash. It's a double
I
A.
guarantee you,
kinda-
Scorn won't be as good as Returnal. I guarantee it. I don't have
Damn,
no
yo.
question. And
I don't think I even hear the Scorn.
I didn't say that. Yeah,
it's got
Returnal's-
the alien.
I-
It looks like another
I finished
Geiger
Returnal.
style.
Yeah, it has an HR Giger look.
Geiger.
It's like with
Like,
with
whatever.
Metro.
I'm thinking a Giger counter.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, it's just it's weird because it's like the Series X doing well
Made it
sales
tomato.
wise. Yeah, they're saying the right things, but it's like I was just saying, how many years in
Where's
a row
the-
is it?
Oh,
Wait for E3.
not grounded. He brought him grounded.
Oh
for
God!
E3,
Don't bring
guys.
up Grounded, dog.
Wait
The game's
for-
already in beta. It's been in beta for over a year. Who gives a
Wait
shit?
Yeah, it's
for
been a bit
Tokyo
of a
Game
year.
Show. Wait for Gamescom. I mean, how many?
You never
years
wait
in a
for
row?
Tokyo Game Show with Xbox
I
on.
know,
So what
but-
the
I'm
shit?
sick. I'm tired.
You
I'm
never do
tired.
that.
Wait for E3.
I'm tired of waiting.
Wait for
Yeah,
the
waiting
game
my ass
showcase.
off,
Wait
man.
for this. Wait for that. It's like, how long are you gonna wait?
Wait for the cloud. Wait for the cloud.
They bought all
Ex-
these goddamn companies and nobody putting out any games. What they just
I already knew
kill
that.
'em?
But see, that was to be expected, unfortunately.
But it's been.
Not
So-
for me.
So
Not
let's
after 5 years.
Well,
5 goddamn years. Nobody put no game out.
we're
Grounded
hating
counts
we're
as a
hating
game.
we're hating a lot at the moment. Let's pedal back to when to
Pedal
when,
back
like
to when.
some of the earlier acquisitions, so we mentioned what they called
think
Ninja Theory, right?
Ninja Theory 343 and Playground were like the same year.
Yeah.
Okay. So we had those guys, and now we had the. I don't think we've even had a delay for the sequel to Juice's favorite Ninja
Oh,
Theory
Hellblade
game.
2. We haven't even
Hellblade 2,
They didn't
right?
even announce
We-
it. At that point.
Yeah, this
They
game
announced
just
the date yet.
right now. We know the game exists. They're
Did they
working
say
on it. but
2022 at the end of that?
They haven't given a
They
date.
didn't-
I don't think
they
they gave a
didn't say shit.
date. Yeah, they
At
didn't give a
the
date.
original trailer, afterwards they said they were still gonna leave to scout fucking
Yeah, they were
areas.
going-
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the last thing we heard. Yeah.
And they were doing the audio testing and sound effects
Yeah.
and stuff like this year or late last year.
Well, that was their update, wasn't it? Just saying they showed
that
just
was the-
them in like
that-
Iceland or somewhere.
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
That was
Looking
the
like
last
they're
thing we
having the
heard.
best
Yeah.
life,
No,
best
wait,
life.
no, we did have game. Well, we had gameplay of it.
No,
'cause
we
she's
had
run-
footage.
She's
No,
being
no,
chased by like a
Was
giant
that
or
at
something,
E3?
right?
No,
Yeah,
no,
that
no,
was
no.
at,
No. We did have footage, but we just didn't have any like.
Footage. Yeah, it wasn't game.
We have no release info or like any of that shit.
They said it was gameplay, man. Maybe.
Well, it was in-
Yeah, all they
Yeah,
went
yeah,
is
a lot
like,
of
by the way, we got
A lot of
gameplay.
bullshit.
That's the same kind
It
of
ain't gameplay when I'm watching the character running from the side and shit.
Look,
I'm,
ironically
towards the
enough-
camera gameplay is like
I'm seeing
the
cinematic.
Yeah,
That's
but
not
I'm saying,
gameplay to
weak
me.
gameplay.
I'm about to say, if I remember
It's Crash
correctly,
Bandicoot.
Juice didn't even like the fucking gameplay they showed, if I remember correctly.
Because the first game had nothing like that. You weren't running at the camera, pressing buttons like QuickTime events and shit. You were like, you knew what was game and you knew it was a cutscene, and that it was like, I don't know.
This game's gonna be very different from the first one. You can believe that shit.
Yeah, it's bizarre because we I mean T
Well, Ninja
obviously
Theory
knows
did put out a
firsthand,
game,
but
though.
we know Halo shouldn't
Yeah,
have
they
come
did.
out
They put out
when
a
it came out. But
They
then
put out Bleeding
you
Edge,
get
right?
something of quality like Forza. And they always seem to get Forza out. It's almost like a priority studio, like the main
But it's also
focus
to me,
studio.
it's the easiest game to do. I would
easy.
think.
But they,
Yeah.
yeah, because one of my quote unquote complaints why it wasn't higher on my game of the year list was like it's the same game. I mean, yeah, it's a new location, but basically the same cars, same.
Yeah.
You're doing very similar stuff, and it's like, yeah, that's easier to get out when you just got to change the location.
And it's
everything.
great.
And
I
it's
suppose
solid.
I suppose it's not even a
fantastic.
brand new engine, really, is it, from the previous
No.
Forza? I guess it was.
No.
They enhanced it,
Why-
but
why-
it wasn't like
Yeah,
complete scratch from the ground up.
I don't know. I just don't know where their priorities are in terms of their software houses. You know,
Money.
you feel like they used to have priorities. You know, they had Halo. Halo was their priority. Forza, Gears, and all this stuff. And if you think about it, Gears wasn't even theirs. You know, they bought, into Gears from with the developers. Sorry, my brain.
What is this trash? Do you know anybody
Yeah.
know what game this is?
No idea.
kinda-
What the fuck is that?
This is
What?
Ninja Theory's first game
Bleeding Edge.
after getting
Bleeding Edge.
bought by Microsoft. Like it came out
Bleeding
in
Edge.
2021.
What is it? What's it called though?
Bleeding
Bleeding Edge.
Ass, as next gen would say.
Oh, that is.
Bleeding
No,
Edge.
that's Bleeding Edge.
Bleeding ass.
Did
Oh,
you
that's
say
Bleeding Edge?
bleeding ass?
I didn't
Look
realize
at-
that was
look at
Bleeding
this.
Edge. What?
That must be an AI. That dude was just running against the wall. Like,
Yeah,
the
that's-
combat
that's
don't
pretty
look
bad.
terrible, but
It just. I mean,
Yeah.
it's.
They
It
were
was
just
just kind of.
I can't hate on
Gotta-
it. You know,
it
it's
might be a fun.
I mean,
game.
it's
big-
fine.
big
It's one of those things
visual
where
style
it's,
You know,
was-
it's
I
fine.
picked up this game.
How is
Very
it?
open.
I haven't played it. I picked.
But
It's
it's
just.
just this.
Remember,
looks more
I
like
sent you guys
Knockout
links.
City.
They had it
Yeah,
on.
we
They
know
had
what
it
it
on.
is.
it is.
Look,
Look, we got the list. I know the list already, bro. You don't gotta put the list up. I know. I've been looking at this list for 5 goddamn years.
yeah.
I
the
know
biggest
about
problem-
this list.
The biggest problem Xbox is.
Elder Scrolls 6. Are you serious, bro? Elder
Oh,
Scrolls 6.
Muhammad's
That
putting
shit ain't
Elder
coming on
Scrolls-
at least
I just- I
5
just-
years.
bro.
I just want to put.
Come
I
on,
just want to
come
put.
on.
I just want to put this in context.
Come
Even
on,
in
quit
the
playing.
even in the review where I recognize the quality of the console itself, yeah, we're perfectly cool. But the reality that Xbox faces is they don't seem they talk a big game about putting out unique original content, but what you end up getting is either nothing or like a bunch of fucking promises of things they're going to do.
Yeah.
And I think this is the most I've seen a company either lie or like stretch the truth about what the fuck kind of
Well, they
games
never-
we're getting.
You know, here's the thing, Mohammed. Every game on
Promised
that
them for a
list,
long goddamn time.
other than Forza Motorsports, is 2023, 2024, or 2025.
Beyond.
I was gonna say Elder Scrolls 6 is gonna be 2025 at the earliest. You'll
That would
probably
make
see
sense.
Everwild,
something
yo.
from
You
it.
know, Mohammed,
Everwild.
you're saying that they're prepping for the Switch 2017 level def lineup. 2017 was the launch year of the Switch, so the games were there, but we're not
What are you
we're not
talking
on the launch year of the Series
be
X
year
anymore.
2 years in. Gonna be 2 years
It's
in.
about this. We're closing 2 years here at the end of this
You're gonna
year.
be on year
And I-
3
I-
before you start. Maybe Hellblade
Mhm.
2.
And re-
No way Indiana
and-
Jones. No way Avowed. No way.
Even
Fable.
Sega when they were poor and
And
on
what
a
do you know about
deathbed
Indiana Jones? Nothing.
produced the Dreamcast, and in 2 years you had so many fucking games from Sega and third parties.
Yeah.
Brand new games. Even a Sega on a
I can't-
deathbed managed to get games out on a brand new 128-bit console.
Seriously.
And it's not like
You
the
know,
You
you-
can't
PS4
get excited for
was-
vaporware. That's all vaporware. Indiana Jones, vaporware.
Even
Elder Scrolls,
even the Wii U in its
Everwild,
last
definitely.
year had like Star Fox and Paper
Everwild,
Mario and
vaporware.
shit.
Like I mean, that
The
list
Wii
is
U's 2016 is better than the first. Well, definitely this year for Xbox. Or
Yeah.
Available last year.
it's fucking sad.
I mean, because you got Starfield is delayed to next year, and even then, I don't even know if it's going to
He's
come
gotta
out
be
next
joking
year.
now. It's most
Redfall is
powerful.
delayed. Fucking Perfect Dark is a cutscene. Elder Scrolls is
Perfect
nothing.
Dark, we
They're
have
not-
no
they're not
idea
They're
what
not
per-
cooking. They're
Come
not
on.
cooking the Elder Scrolls. They're growing the crop still for that shit.
They're-
That is way. In the,
Perfect
They
Dark
don't
is
even have the
vaporware. All
seeds
that's
yet.
vaporware.
They're like
Yeah.
surveying land.
We've actually seen Avowed. We've kind of seen
No,
Hellblade.
Avowed was a fake. It
Two.
was a CG. CG
Oh,
trailer.
Was it? I thought it
Mhm.
was a. I thought it was some first
No, it
person.
was just CG.
I
What is it?
doubt that was like some first person. I really highly
in first
doubt.
Of what?
I don't
Avowed?
remember. I don't. I honestly don't remember.
There's
I don't
no
remember.
way that was in game.
wasn't
Not
in
already. No
Wasn't
fucking.
even game engine.
They,
I bet.
they randomly made that trailer just the
No
idea.
fucking-
of
I
what
would
it
say
be.
Fable has a chance because isn't it Playground's making that, and they're a competent studio.
That's
They've been
true.
Proven, but they've
It's-
always.
Fable
it's-
is
all the
Fable is
studios are
fucking
competent.
after Elder Scrolls, man.
But they're good at
I-
getting games out. Like, but
Yeah.
that's.
Yeah,
a
I
completely
think
new genre.
I think we'd like to reiterate that it's not that we're not keen or excited about the prospect of
So
many of these games. It's literally just it's time, execution, and what we're getting from Microsoft in terms of discussions and updates and stuff like that. Because otherwise, we all just get to as gamers, us in our YouTube and Twitter streets and all that stuff, we're hearing all the Perfect Dark issue stories. You say like State of Decay and stuff. I mean, for me, that's a series that why even get excited about that when you're number 3 and as much as you might personally think 1 or 2 might be good and you enjoy them, just from a general consensus, it's not the War Machine that you need.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of those early PS4 lists, the list bros that would come out, because it was dry as hell on PS4 those first couple years, and I remember just making out these lists that had no idea what these games were, but Sony mentioned them at some point and they put them on their list.
And not to start this conversation again, but Overwatch 2 is like DOA. That shit is fucking dead already and is launching now. Activision Blizzard isn't gonna do shit for Xbox. Like, they're still not recovering from all that shit.
I saw the previews for Overwatch 2. Dog.
Overwatch 2 is like, and that's like that used to be one of the most expected games ever. It would have done millions.
It's not a 2. That's the problem. It's not a sequel. It's an Overwatch 1.25.
Yeah.
It's like you can be excited about the future of potential games coming. The problem is we're already living in the future of what the Xbox Series X should have been producing already, because the console has launched. We knew about the console before it launched. So you have
no exclusives, by the way.
Yeah, you have to be. So now we're living in the future of 2 years after the console launched, 3 years after we knew about it. Yeah, we're in that future.
So
they delayed the game that's on the goddamn box, Halo. They had to delay that shit a year, and the bitch still wasn't ready. What the fuck?
They're still fucking updating it.
They still don't have what they.
Let's because it's like on these in the chat and stuff. We the Xbox, for all these little services and everything that's doing, is still fantastic. But what we're looking at here is acquisitions of studios, promises of games, promises of their AAA titles. 1 or 2 they've managed to get right, but for the most part, their once key game, Halo, for those people, is just not where it should be or where it should have been. And like you said, we're in that future now, and now we have to wait even longer. You're going to be waiting 4 to 5 years for these lists of games that you've been promised, and there has to come to a point where you're just like, yeah, okay, this is bullshit now. As much as I love Game Pass and stuff,
it's like
what's happening?
It's like almost every game is Shin Megami Tensei 5, announced in 2017, fucking released in 2022.
Halo Infinite Season 3 in November, and it's still not gonna have. Bruh.
Remember
you're breaking key, man.
Remember Nintendo fans?
In November.
Remember Nintendo fans in 2020?
Last November.
Oh man, if Breath of the Wild 2 comes out this year, Bayonetta 3 comes out there, if Metroid Prime 4 this year's going to be amazing. Just imagine with Luigi's Mansion, or that was 2019. But
2019.
How many times you're going to, like, you can't just keep saying, oh, well, 2023 is going to be a banger year. Well,
but to be fair, we might still not have gotten those games, but we're getting a shitload of other shit though.
I would say the Xbox situation is worse, because not only did we not get the games we were promised, we haven't gotten anything else.
Yeah,
like literally, if you took third party off the system, you ain't get shit. That's realistically what it is.
Wasn't the Gunk like the last game they released under Microsoft Studios?
Gunk.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
no, isn't the Gunk is Image Inform, isn't it?
No, but
it was published or funded by Microsoft, I believe.
Yeah, it was funded by Microsoft.
So,
but I don't think so. It was published by someone else. It wasn't published by them.
No,
was it?
Somehow
it's exclusive. Is it exclusive though?
It might have been
that's
only on Xbox. That's only on Xbox
timed exclusive, because I think Kana eventually will.
It's also on Xbox One, but I mean.
So
what's on Xbox One? The Gunk?
Oh, the Gunk.
Yeah, the Gunk.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not like it's a graphically intensive game or anything.
That's why I said I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
The problem is that if you're an Xbox fan, you were not satisfied. Like even if you cut out all that other shit, cut out everything else what Sony or Nintendo are doing. As an Xbox fan, if you give a fuck about these IPs like Hellblade or fucking Halo, Gears, Forza, and any other thing that they've announced, you were in the fucking cold. And the one game you do have that people fuck with is Halo. Isn't even fucking finished yet. You're still waiting for updates to come out and add things that should have been in the launch version of the game. That's the fucking problem.
The Master Chief Collection turned out
a year later, bro.
How long
That's the problem. It's like, why are we still doing
this? You still don't
this?
have co-op. One of the huge staples of Halo. You don't have co-op for real. We got to wait a year. After we had to wait a year, we already waited a year for this bitch to launch. Now we got to wait a whole another year.
Should have delayed it another
bro.
year. It should have been November this year. Before it even launched, you know.
Oh, they would have had jack shit and all then.
And Sony and Microsoft both should have launched their systems in 2021.
They would have just had Forza Motorsport. That's it. They wouldn't have got all the accolades.
Literally, at this point, it just boils down to just put out a quality game. That's all. That's at this point, that's what people just want. Just put out a quality game. We aren't even getting that. We're not getting anything at this point. What's the next Xbox game coming out? What's the next Xbox game coming out?
I bet you Forza Motorsports would be this year. The reboot.
Yeah, probably.
What the fuck you do? That's like one series.
I love Forza, but I'm like,
the sim one.
Okay,
it'll be the.
That don't get me excited. That just doesn't get me.
Yeah, it's that one game for that one series, and you
know what to expect from Forza. Like you know what you're gonna get.
That's the only.
How important? How important do you think first-party studios are now in terms of exclusive to the Xbox brand?
I don't think
now they've got Game Pass. You know, again, a lot of third-party stuff on there. You know, they obviously got their old back catalog stuff and whatever newer stuff that they get, they put on there. How important now? When you say like the Xbox fan, it's not what the Xbox fan is looking for. How important are those first-party exclusives now? Do you feel for the Xbox brand? Now it's got all these other services.
Fan, then yeah, it's pretty important because
they're pretty important. Yeah,
there's not a whole lot of like day and date third-party stuff on there.
Yeah, most of the third-party stuff.
We mentioned like Gears and and Forza and stuff like that. You know, when we go back to like the original Xbox. You know, I think what's carried over from the original Xbox. You know, Halo 1, Halo jumps to mind.
Halo.
And in terms of other IPs, Project Gotham transformed into
technically Forza, yeah.
Project Gotham is gone now, so it's transformed into Forza. So the original Xbox is kind of that starting point of just one or two or three IPs that they kind of carried over. So it picked up in the Xbox 360 era, where we had Gears of War, which they actually bought the IP for. they never owned Mass Effect. Yeah, even though it felt.
You said Fable already, yeah.
Yeah, well, Fable's eventually come. Oh, yeah, so original Fable. There you go.
But wait, wasn't
that was thought to have been cancelled at one point, but now they've brought it back. So
isn't Blinks theirs or no?
Yeah, but Blinks. Where's Blinks?
Dead shit every time.
What they do with Blinks?
So you got Psychonauts, but we've only just got Psychonauts back.
We just got
they missed the whole console
and
generation.
To be fair, that's not even them. They did that.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's Double Fine and stuff, But it was on the original Xbox, right? So
it's on the original Xbox, and for me, I knew it got ported to PS2, but for me, that was an Xbox game at the time.
I think it just goes back to what is the Xbox identity now in terms of IPs and stuff. And I think the IPs have weakened greatly. Especially Halo, which was their flagship, has weakened greatly. So I don't.
But they've been trying to build IP.
That's why we've been waiting.
That's why they've been buying these companies.
But they're not pushing them like at all. It's more like you get one game and then fuck, if you don't sell well, then we never see you again.
But like
that's really what
they're talking about 1 to 2
like
exclusives a quarter.
Well, I mean, we'll give an example like Record. Record came out and it wasn't great, but it wasn't. I don't think it went.
No, they should have.
But you still do a sequel to give it the chance to do better. Because you ain't got nothing else you're pushing as unique.
Remember that was the Metroid Prime creators of Metroid Prime. But anyway, I want to address Mohammed brings up Miyamoto's quote about delayed games. Well, guess what? Crackdown 3 was delayed. Halo Infinite was delayed. I don't know if State of Decay 2 was delayed, but
Starfield
it was.
These games get delayed and then they come out and they're still bad. That's the problem. It's not that they're delayed. It's that they're coming out and they're not amazing games. So it's the delay plus they're not releasing great games. So it's like that's the combination's bad. It's not that they're just because they're delayed, because the delay in most cases is celebrated in certain way because all right, well, it wasn't ready, so it's better.
And all this
Or
shit keeps
delay
leaking, like,
is tolerated.
the shit
We would
leaks
tolerate
Tolerate.
like about Perfect Dark. Like there was leaks about that.
Oh, Phil Spencer was
And-
playing it on Christmas holiday in 2020. It's coming out.
Right, and that's bullshit. And then so that happens, and then Starfield, like you had that dude, I think it was Reddit or 4chan or some shit, I don't know. He's talking about how the game, it was not in a great state, blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, this is just some guy bullshitting. These guys look confident the game's coming out a couple weeks later. Delayed.
This
You
is
wanna polish it,
Bethesda we're
so
talking
that
about,
shit
man.
must have been true. So it's not only you're not releasing any games. People are leaking shit all over the place. There's bad management. This is not a good look.
Well, I just want to remind
billions
that
of goddamn dollars on these companies, and they're doing nothing. It's just that's not good, bro. It's like at this point, you invested in this fucking console. The console is fucking immaculate. It's a great console.
Yeah, as a box,
Game
it's fine.
Pass is great. Yeah, as a box, it is phenomenal. But you gotta put something on that bitch. You
Yeah.
gotta put some games
And
out on that shit to make it shine.
if you remember, Starfield they announced the release date last year at
They announced that shit
E3.
last year. I was like, oh, this bitch is.
I think that was
No,
just
they ain't.
I said that in chat. That was just a trump card, as in look at this level of software that we got now.
Mhm.
Everyone's hyped about Starfield, and I remember saying that Starfield. I don't care what anyone says. I don't think it's going to be on the same level of hype or wantability as the next Elder Scrolls.
Oh,
Well, the
that-
hype
that's-
is
that-
up there. I don't
That
know about
sequel
the-
to Skyrim we're talking about here.
Well, you know what? Also, I
Starfield
think
is the new IP.
I think the fact that it's not on PlayStation will also do that. You know what I mean? The fact that it's not on the
Because
that-
everybody was
Actually,
loving
be fair.
Starfield.
To
It kinda
counter
is
my
just
point,
exclusive.
we had CD Projekt Red, who worked on the Witcher series. They had Witcher 3, and then we all got crazy
Crash
hyped about Cyberpunk, which is
Yeah.
kind of like the reverse around of what Bethesda's doing with Starfield and stuff. So yeah, you're right. The
But we
the
haven't
hype
even seen
can still be there.
Starfield.
Dude said
But-
Crash 5. Crash 5.
Crash 5, dude.
He's trolling now. You gotta
And
be trolling.
Doom.
He's trolling.
Doom is
And the
two-
next
I
Doom,
I,
man.
I,
2 to
I
3
think I don't
years
think
at
Mohammed
least.
is super serious all the
He's
time.
gotta be.
No.
No, he can't be. He can't
He
be.
loves
Can't
it.
be.
He loves it.
He's
He loves
like
it. He's got us like this sometimes,
he's
but
like
we know it
Kratos.
as well.
He's
We
like
know
the
it.
Kratos character from Next
Yeah.
Gen's podcast, where he's always just saying ridiculous stuff about Sony.
Yeah.
And I gotta be
Crash
fair,
5.
Sony did show Ragnarok with the 2021 way
Yeah, I
back.
told you guys that shit was
way
not
back
coming
in
out when they said it.
2020.
I was like, that shit's not coming out.
I didn't feel it was. I thought
Do you think it's even
I'm
coming
less
out this
confident
year? I
about
don't
this
know.
year too than I was.
It may not even hit this year. I don't know.
To be
feel
fair,
like it will.
I thought they might get it out because at the end of the day, I think they went into this thinking this is a reboot. We're gonna have all these games lined up, and even now seeing Ragnarok footage, you can tell that it's almost like a direct,
Yeah, it started as DLC.
same engine, direct sequel. Let's just get a new story and some new levels of stuff. I didn't think it would take as long as it's taken them.
It felt like typical Sony propaganda to me when they
That,
said that
yeah,
shit. I was
that
like,
one
nah.
was like, yeah, right. You know, like
That one particularly, I was like, nah, I
Well, I
don't
mean,
believe it.
Also, to be fair, like if you look at the Sony side of stuff for this year, I mean, what did they release?
They got
Horizon,
something,
Horizon,
bro.
obviously,
They got,
but
Horizon was a huge game.
Horizon, Gran Turismo,
they
and
got Forspoken
What's
as
that
an
one game?
exclusive.
The
and
Forspoken's
then,
coming.
And then
it
possibly
just sucks
God of
that
War.
I always say this, but
GT?
it sucks that we're out here saying yeah, this game that you don't have to buy a PlayStation 4. Let's count this, fuck it, whatever, because it's on PC, but whatever, So, but it's like that, and then it's like
God of War potentially.
potentially.
But
Right.
Sony
But it's
never
like-
has
it was
Sony
Cody
never has
2022.
more than 3 first-party games in a year since the PS4, so they're on par if Ragnarok comes out.
Yeah.
I guess
That's a typical
I
year.
guess.
I mean, you can say what you want. That's just
that
typical.
doesn't mean but I
These are big games.
still say though that I always still say that I've always thought it's lackluster when you think about it. It's like in
Yeah.
terms of the amount and just the variety. At least you think about it's racing, but then it's 2 action adventure games. So it's like there's no other like
I think
Yeah,
3
but
or
we
4
we
as
we
a
spoke
studio, as a
about
company. That's a good number.
Because I think next year they're gonna have Insomnia probably have one of their games out, and then
Oh well, yeah, I mean next year. Well, I mean,
I laugh at people who talk
next year,
about
next year Spider-Man 2.
Indiana Jones. I laugh at them as much as I laugh at people talking about Wolverine. You ain't seen shit about no Wolverine.
That'd be
this
2020.
Oh, no, we won't see that for at least another year.
But people putting that shit on their list, man. Wolverine. Like you haven't seen anything.
Yeah, that's stupid.
The same people talking shit about like, oh, the Metroid Prime 4 logo. Bitch, you ain't seen that much for Wolverine.
Well, here's the thing, though.
CGI trailer. Sorry.
With Metroid Prime 4, you can kind of imagine what you're gonna get. But with Wolverine, it's like
no idea.
It's not like you're gonna get fucking Spider-Man or anything, you know. It's borderline gonna be more like Avengers or some shit, you know. I'm worried about it.
I'm gonna call it right now. It's gonna play just like, identically to Spider-Man's combat, the Batman Arkham series combat.
Yeah.
Just with Wolverine.
Yeah.
In probably a grittier, maybe some outdoor areas and stuff. You know,
I kind of wish they hadn't picked Wolverine of all the characters.
For me, as somebody who's not a big Insomniac fan, I'm not looking forward to it. But if somebody loves all their games, that can be enough to get you excited. You should still not.
I just think as a game designer, you think we're Sony, man. Let's get some Marvel characters. You know, you think of all the X-Men characters that you could choose from, right? That you would pick, and we've had so many Wolverine games. We've had so many Wolverine films. As a game designer, to get excited about game mechanics, you think, fuck, man, just give me anyone else but Wolverine right now. Just claws.
Yeah, Wolverine's
give me Gambit. Give me Storm. You know, give me.
Yeah, Wolverine's like the most.
Give me Night Stalker.
Who knows who will be in there? There might be some cool.
Nightcrawler, sorry.
But yeah.
Man, I love Nightcrawler. Man. That was just one of my favorites. So good.
Night Stalker, I think. What's that from? Night Stalker.
Oh, you know what? For Xbox One, I forgot that. Again, it's also coming on PC, but fuck it. It's Stalker 2, but that apparently they said 2022. Apparently got delayed to December, but unfortunately, very unfortunately, that studio's in Ukraine. They've
been relocated as far as I've heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have they?
But that's
relocated already.
Super unfortunate though. So I'm like,
it's
no.
That game looked fucking awesome.
That's out of their hands. They can't do anything about that. But it's like,
to me, reminds me
that game looks phenomenal.
The Metro series, though, where they look amazing, and I just
and they play amazing. God damn it!
Metro is not amazing.
Metro, those are good games. Those are pretty
fine, but
pretty awesome games.
Fucking
no,
awesome.
they are good games. They didn't gel with me personally.
Project Mara, that Ninja Theory, where all they had was it's about something to do with us. Mental
I completely forgot about that game. What the fuck?
Anyway, Muhammad, I'm gonna start ignoring your troll tweets. We're gonna move on to some Nintendo Switch sales.
I want to shout out Visor.
I do have the list.
I want to shout out Visor real quick because he made a great point. He's like, he said, I laugh when I hear all these big games being delayed. Meanwhile, Nintendo just sitting on finished games. They're sitting on Xenoblade Chronicles 3. They're sitting on the remake remaster for Advance Wars. They just sitting around and they still have shit to put out.
I bet you Strikers
the company who couldn't adjust. They couldn't adjust to the pandemic fast enough, right? That's the company who putting out games this year.
I bet you Strikers is done too. I guarantee you Strikers.
You mean the video game company?
Yeah, Strikers is done. Yeah,
Strikers done for half a year.
What else is there that's probably done? Not Splatoon because they don't.
Big Ben 4.
Actually, we'll probably find out. We'll probably find out next month. Oh my god.
That is a good point, Visor, man. Like this, Nintendo did have a couple struggle years though, where they didn't.
Yeah, we got like Mario Strikers around before, no?
Everybody fucks up. That's perfectly fine.
A couple struggle years. Microsoft been struggling for 5 fucking years now.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad.
And the struggle years were the aftermath of the Wii U years. You know, we know that.
All right, so
I do have the sales up, but do you want? Okay, so a couple things, a couple tidbits. I already mentioned Metroid, but I'll go ahead and reiterate it because we never fucking. I don't think we did in a podcast. Metroid is Dread is the best-selling Metroid game currently, and it's
close to 3 million, right?
Yeah, it's like 2.93. It's not
No one
It's
wants
not-
to, no one wants
free
a,
right
no
now.
one wants a $60 2D game,
It
Nintendo.
still hurts my soul, man. It still hurts my soul.
I mean, it's still so. I mean, look, it's and then the other
No,
couple
that's
things.
great.
That is great.
It's great for the video game. This is Samus Aran, man.
I feel like
you know what I
the
mean?
problem is that as you as a Metroid fan,
this was
you
Metroid
think
Prime,
you
I'd be
she
disappointed.
thinks you think that she deserves
Yeah,
more.
I would
That's
be
what it is.
telling them Metroid Prime doesn't double it.
A lot of people feel like I don't want to pay $60 for a side-scrolling game. A lot of people just feel that way,
Yeah,
They-
it's
they're
more of a
wrong.
mentality thing.
but they feel that
If it doesn't have Mario in the title, specifically if it doesn't have
Because
Mario
2D
in the title.
Mario always
I
outsells
think-
3D Mario, so that's the
I
opposite
think-
to
2D
that.
Mario games do
I
crazy.
think a big reason for that is in the last decade, we've had so many incredible indie games that outshine AAA games to such an extent, and you pay like $10 for it. Pay like what, $15 for Hollow Knight? Like Ori was like fucking $20, some shit like that. You know what I mean? So when people then see like a AAA studio still asking $60, it's like that's what people like.
And
Yeah.
we all said that we paid too little for Hollow Knight, pretty much.
Exactly.
Yeah, because Ori was
I-
30
look,
or
there's-
40, I think, at launch. I don't
There is
remember.
so many indie games, and I'm like, I would have paid 60 for this in a heartbeat.
Oh.
Tell me this is $5.
Muhammad-
It's crazy. You know, it's like what
Well,
the
you
fuck?
were not
Muhammad got a good
replying
point,
to
too.
troll. We're not replying to troll Hamid.
He got a good point though. He had a good point though about strikers. we don't know how
we're
good
not-
that game's actually gonna be.
We'll
Joel,
see.
Joel, it's
We'll
sad, right? Because it's good to bring up strikers. You actually bring up a good point there, Mohammed. You know, our Nintendo Sports Series. You know, I don't know what's happening with them. You know, Camelot I think Camelot
Just
have given
jam
up.
Nintendo Sports.
I think
You know
Camelot has given up. Nintendo use it as a quick, even like a cheap Mario Party type of thing. You know, like a Mario Party 10 or something like that. Just get it out there. Just get it out. Whereas like you can see Strikers, you can see the next level graphical detail in there, and the character models. It all looks so fucking good. But then you can still feel that
Doesn't have that
Nintendo
personality.
Sports, your budget in there, and I worry about it. You know, I want it to be.
Try the whole. Well, we'll add characters to keep people.
Yeah,
Oh, no, that's
I
definitely
ain't,
what
I ain't feeling
All right,
that
here-
shit at all.
Here's my thing. When I saw the Overview trailer and I realized, wait a minute, Daisy isn't in the trailer. Wow, this roster looks really small. Oh, we're doing that again. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but someone made a good point. There's 10 characters, right? 10 characters in the roster.
Yeah.
You have 4 characters on a team. So that means when you pick your team, or whatever, there's only like 2 other characters left or some shit.
Oh yeah.
Variety, baby.
Oh yeah, it's fucking
Variety.
ridiculous. They're literally gonna do the fact
What are you
that I
gonna
saw
do?
the fact that because there are certain characters who are normally mainstays that aren't in the maze roster. Like I
Daisy?
said, yeah, people were like Daisy.
Like, how
of
the
all
fuck
people?
Daisy ain't in the
While
game?
Luigi's ass in there, I bet it is.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is.
he's here,
Yeah.
he's here.
Yeah, he's in there. Yeah.
It's weird. We were just like, okay, but you fucking put Rosalina in this bitch, but you didn't fucking you thought Daisy couldn't be in the base roster? Yeah, you doing that free
Just
DLC bullshit.
Just wait till after you beat Xenoblade Chronicles 3, then pick up Strikers. It'll have probably.
Yeah, that's
16
probably the
characters.
best. That's
But I
the
don't want to do
Honestly-
that because I want the fucking characters on the cart. I don't want
That's
that
true.
downloaded character shit, man.
Probably,
Yeah.
probably
Yeah,
on
It's
exactly.
always-
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with T.
I
agree
bet they'll
with
be
T.
It's
on
always
the
more
card.
annoying when you have shit like, for example, Boom Boom, who's like in the goal, and it's like, bitch, you have this character in the game already, you know? Like, you can just
Yeah.
make him
He'll
a
be
playable
listen,
one.
retro. He'll be there at the end
Is
of the
Charging
year.
Chuck
It's
a
free
playable
DLC.
character?
Yeah, see, Boom Boom should be
That was
over
right, man.
Daisy. I'll take
They-
Charging
That's
Chuck
what they
over
did that with
Daisy.
him. I think in didn't they do that in golf?
Yeah.
I think in golf.
Yeah,
I
in
think they
golf.
made him. They made him a
King
fucking.
Bob
Golf?
King Bomb.
So a
Bullshit.
couple other just because if we
Moving
stick on
on.
this, it'll become a
Moving
whole
on.
problem.
Yeah.
So
Let's move. Let's
couple
move.
other tidbits. The Switch is now officially outsold the PS4 in the US. It is now,
Hey.
which goddamn, sir.
How about
Uh,
worldwide? What is it? What is it worldwide though? I don't
107.
care about the
It's
US.
107. It's
I think the
107
PS4 is
worldwide.
in like one.
Like 117.
Yeah.
PS4
Yeah.
is like 116.
It has
It'll
not sold the
pass it.
PS4.
Yeah, but
entirely.
107 was
Yeah,
what's
it'll
their
pass it.
record? What's their reporting quarter? Was it the end of March or was it
End of
One-
March.
Yeah, it was in the
107.
March.
Sometimes
Will
they
it
was
do.
in
pass?
Sometimes they
Because
do
Kirby
up
came
until
out.
March.
Kirby came out and Kirby came
Sometimes
out
they
at the end of March.
do. They'll add like current, like to current lifetime, current lifetime sales.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But currently, as of March, it is 107 and some change.
Yeah.
107.65. I guess the other little tidbit before we get into the actual sales.
Wait
is,
there. Sorry, wait there.
Software?
In your
Lifetime?
soul, right?
Yeah, that's what I was about to go into.
Deep down, right? You know, in a hidden room of hate and desire and Nintendo lust. Do you truly want the Nintendo Switch to become the biggest selling console ever to pass the PS2?
Hells yeah, yo.
No.
Kinda, yeah,
Oh,
I kind of do.
Yeah, fuck the
Hell
PS2.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, pass the PS2, absolutely.
I love the idea of having the least
A pure
powerful
console.
console being the best selling. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
love
like
it.
got a
I think
spite.
great.
It's like, bitch,
I think it's
That
I
was
didn't
the
even.
PS2. The PS2 was
So
the
is the
least powerful.
PS2 exactly. I think that's awesome. I think it's badass.
Yeah, it had a spite.
I just
And
don't,
without having a big gimmick. That's my thing. The Switch doesn't have some big bullshit gimmick. It's a gaming console. That's it. It is a bare bones gaming console.
And I like that
no
too.
DVD player and shit in it. That helped it sell. None of that. So that's why I like it. That's why I wanted to beat. I wanted to beat the fucking PS2.
It's got
for that reason alone.
great games. No DVD drive that had to.
the thing that
Right.
bugs me about it though is, I mean, it's not a huge deal overall. It's just some of the practices that Nintendo kind of, I hope, isn't like, well, this works. Let's do this next time. Let's just hope that they don't rest on their laurels.
Well, they came out recently, didn't they, and said their main focus for going into the next platform or whatever, even though they specifically said that they're not essentially working on anything, is that they want that transition to be as smooth as possible.
That's not true. They were worried about the transition. That's what everybody said. They were scared.
That's a bad translation.
I see what you did there, Retro.
Yeah.
I see what you did there, Retro.
It took me a second to pick up on it, but yeah.
I see what he did there.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
I'm glad.
This is what we all hoped about, right? I think it's
concerned.
Just at least get our user accounts across, get those Switch Online games straight across.
Yeah.
So the Switch Online and all the software that it already has just carries fucking over. Yeah. I tell you what, jump back onto the sales because otherwise it'll go off on a tangent.
Any new N64 games hit the?
When did Kirby?
Kirby's coming soon, right?
Yeah, Kirby just.
It's this week.
Out.
It's this week.
Wasn't this that game, Robert, you didn't care for?
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
No, I've been playing Mario Golf.
Really fucking good, man.
I've been playing Mario Golf.
Look at all this violence about to happen.
That just surprises me. I just
gonna beat on a child or
those Kirby games.
You bitch! What do you mean you didn't like it?
So give us some info.
20 made a video out there. Go watch.
Quiz us.
So last thing.
Oh yeah, he did make a video about it. So
the highest Switch sees the highest level of software sell through for a Nintendo platform ever.
It's a good video.
Which is between the end of 2021 and 2022, primarily due to Pokemon and Kirby. Pokemon
primarily due to fucking Mario Kart, fucking
listen,
Animal Crossing, Smash Brothers.
Hold on.
I mean, obviously those are the main things, but they're talking about like new content. They're focusing on Pokemon and Kirby because those were the two big new
Pokemon
games.
Both did 12 and 14 respective, so it's like.
That's crazy, and they were only 2 months to be a part of it.
But now we will get into proper sales. Okay, we'll get into proper sales. They actually gave me a pretty fucking big list.
Nice.
Well, I guess. Do y'all know the Kirby sales, or y'all already know?
I don't actually think I know. I thought I did.
I don't think I know.
I'm in the ballpark. It's like
I thought they sold like 2 million after 2 weeks or some shit already. So
okay, so. The Kirby sales obviously aren't up to date. It's only based off of like the first couple days because it came out at the very end of March of it, right?
Yeah.
I thought they said it was 3.2 or something.
I'll put it this way. That's not what this thing. That's not what it says now. Currently, at least let me present. Not off of their reports. It doesn't say that. So it might be that. It might be that now, but off the reports. So I'll just go ahead and mention that one. Kirby's based off their reports is at 2.65 million.
Yeah.
Damn.
Which is based off, I think, the last 2 days of March, right? I think is what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where it's at.
I didn't know it was so that quick, to be honest.
I want you guys.
It is that fucking good. It deserves
instead of doing
fantastic.
Instead
I
of doing,
I didn't think it was gonna
we're gonna do some guessing here.
Let's go.
What left? Let's see. Oh, how much do you currently think? let's see, Clubhouse Games, because that's on this list. Where do
Rob's
you
favorite,
think where do you think that's at? Where do you think it's?
Oh my
Wasn't
god.
it at like 2 or 1 million before?
5
so
million.
it would.
I'm
You
gonna
think
guess-
5? No way. No way.
Jeez.
No way. No
Something
way.
disgusting like 5 million.
That's
Clubhouse,
not
gonna
Clubhouse
guess-
Games,
I'm
four
saying
four and a
three
half.
and a half.
3.2.
I'm gonna say
2.2.
2.5
Wait.
maybe.
So make sure I got this right.
Yeah.
Clock that says
Yeah.
4.5. Juice says 3.5.
I say
think-
2.5.
You say 2.5. What about you, T?
I said 3.2.
And Retro.
I'm gonna go like 5. It's like disgusting.
5. I don't
I
think it was
think-
even near
I
that.
think technically, Clocked It is the winner on that one. It's 4.22. That's
Wait,
it is.
what?
Oh wow.
What?
Yeah, it's at
I
4.
was
It's
off
at
by a
4.
whole million.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I think
Fucking-
Clocked It was. It's
People always
good.
pay for fucking chess, man.
Bro, hey
Now
man.
people still love those games, you know.
It's a
just-
cool,
How much does it
bro.
cost,
It's literally
though? How much
games
does that
that,
game
that
cost?
everyone loves to play
Didn't
to the
it?
day
It
they're
was on.
alive.
That's a $30 game, ain't it?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, it wasn't full price.
No, not even
Yeah.
close.
Okay, here's another one that I know we all fuck with.
Man, it came with
They,
50
sorry,
games.
they
Where
did
do you-
advertise
I was
it.
typing.
They
What was the
advertised
number?
it quite well.
4.22. 4.22.
That's crazy.
All right.
Wow.
What about Luigi's Mansion 3? Where do you guys think that's at?
That's got to be at
9.
10 now, right? It
Oh,
was sitting at 9 something for the
Was it?
10
longest.
was my
12.
first guess as well.
12.
I would say 11.
10.3.
Luigi's
Okay,
Mansion.
so Retro, you're at 9, and Robert, you're at 10.
I'll say
0.3.
11.2. I'll
I'm
say
at
11.2.
12.4. Let's go.
Okay.
12
okay.
even.
So 12.4,
What is this, Price is
11.2. P, what was yours again?
Mine was 11.
11.
10.3.
You said 10.3?
Yes.
10.3. And what was yours, Juice?
12.
12. Fuck, y'all all fucking close. It's 11.43.
Let's go. What the fuck?
Uh,
That's awesome.
I don't
I
know
was-
who. I
who was
want
the
to say
closest?
it's.
I can't remember what everyone said, so
I said
I said
11.2.
10.3,
I think
Okay.
Retro was
I-
the closest official.
I think
I,
Retro was
I
close.
think I said
You said 11.
11.3.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, of course you did.
No, get the fuck out of here.
I said
You said
11.43, I think.
That's what I said. That one was kind of hard
crazy.
because y'all were all pretty close. Yes. Oh,
Well, remember, I
it was
remember.
like- if you said it was at 9 million before, that means it's jumped up
Well
like 2
deserved.
million since.
Can I
Yeah,
just say
man,
that
that-
I remember
man,
when
that
the
game
game
is
was launching.
gorgeous.
I
What
remember when the
fucking
game
company
was.
on the planet could sell 2 million copies 3 years after a fucking game came out, or 2 years after the game comes out? Nobody else can do that shit.
Fucking
I will-
We
gorgeous.
I will
got
say that-
next level games though. I just love that they're flexing. You know, they're just like, look what we can
Yeah.
fucking make.
Now
you
we're
know?
gonna jump to some heavy hitters.
Look what we could do with
Well,
Nintendo
I just gotta
and
say, though,
HD,
I
man. Look at this
remember-
shit. Let's go.
I
Now
remember
we get
when
into the
Luigi's
heavy hitters,
Mansion
guy.
3.
Yeah, now we're
I remember
getting
when
it.
Luigi's
All
Mansion
right,
3 was.
Go ahead, Robert.
so here's the-
Sorry.
Wait,
Robert.
hold on,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
Sorry,
look-
Rob.
I
Sorry.
go ahead,
remember,
go
I
ahead.
remember when the game was launching. I remember you saying, it maybe sell 5. I remember that. I was like, maybe sell
In the
5.
first year.
You didn't have
Exposed.
I was
That's
like,
crazy.
I remember saying, I was like, that's just gonna sell 10, because I did like in 11. I didn't think it was gonna go over 10, but damn, crazy. It was
Well
super
deserved.
Super well
Yeah.
deserved.
Yeah.
Fucking
So I'm gonna
Yeah.
have fun with this. Between we'll say the top 5 games, right? How big of a difference do you think there is between the second highest selling game and the 5th highest selling game?
20
That's so
million.
specific.
I'm gonna say 8 million.
Christ.
You're talking about of all time, like of the whole thing.
Yeah, of the Switch.
So
So
it's
20
Animal
million.
Crossing, it's Animal Crossing, and then it's hold on.
You're not gonna guess the 5th. The 5th one's it's changed
Hold on,
a
hold on.
couple of
I-
times.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Watch. It's
saying.
number 1 is
Super
Mario
Paper
Kart,
Mario, bitch.
Animal Crossing,
I'm saying 8.
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate,
So you think there's an
Oh,
8?
Super Mario
Pokemon
Party as
Super
well.
Sword
Mario
and
Party is what I'm
Shield?
trying to say. Yeah, not Paper Mario.
Super Mario Odyssey. Yes.
I'll tell you
think
this
it-
much. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Super Mario Odyssey isn't in top 5 anymore.
Okay, what's that
Yeah,
number?
it got
7?
pushed
Sword
out.
and Shield, Breath of the Wild, Smash.
Oh, Breath of the
think-
Wild. Fuck, I'm done.
I think
Yeah.
it's
It's,
17
Smash.
No,
million.
Or Breath of
to
the
give
Wild.
context,
2 and 3.
Juice is
Bitch,
right
let's
on the
go
order.
Pikachu. Let's go Eevee.
Juice nailed the ordering of the top 5 almost exactly, sir.
What was it? What
Yeah.
was it?
Sword and
You
Shield.
just said
5.
it, Juice. Yeah, Sword and Shield's 5.
And then I said.
So what's
Oh,
the difference?
and Breath of the
So
Wild's
what's the
4?
difference in sales between Animal Crossing and Sword and
I'm
Shield?
gonna say
17. Oh, Sword and Shield. 17 million.
It's I'll tell
Christ.
you, it's 16 million.
No, I reckon Sword and Shield is on about 19, and Animal Crossing is
No, it's
surely got
past
to be
20.
about
It's
about
past
40 or 45 now.
I'm
Shadow-
changing
I thought
my
Animal
guess to
Crossing
I said
13.
Animal Crossing.
13. 13.
13?
20,
Okay.
20 million.
I'm gonna go with
Pokemon
20.
past 20
I'm
million.
gonna go with 21.
Sword and Shield's been past
21 of a difference? You think there's 21 million of a difference?
Yep.
Gee,
I
okay.
thought
and
Animal
what was yours,
Crossing was at.
No, I said around about the same. I don't remember Sword and Shield pumping past that 20 million mark.
I think it's
Okay.
17. I thought Sword and Shield was at 26, and Animal Crossing at like 43 or some shit like
Okay,
that.
so
No, it's not at 43. It was at 30, like 6 last time, or
It
38.
seems to be like, all right. So I'll give
Just
context.
answer.
I think Juice is the winner in that situation. So Animal Crossing's at 38 and Sword and Shield's at 24.
Oof,
That
that's okay.
so the difference
Oh,
is about ooh,
14.
Fucking
yeah, 14.
hell.
So
I knew
yeah,
Sword and
I was
Shield was at 24.
Yeah, I didn't know.
See,
I didn't,
Sword and
I
Shield-
did, I
Sword
didn't know
and
it pumped
Shield-
past the 20 million.
That I didn't remember. That's why.
I can't
No,
wait.
the-
Hopefully that'll get bumped out of the top 5. But
I think Animal
Yeah.
Crossing.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing was getting so close to Mario Kart 8, and I
But
think
here's the bigger
then
question.
the
And Mario
DLC
Kart 8
came,
is
and
just
Mario
like,
Kart
fuck you.
8 just fucking.
but
took off
here's
that.
the bigger question. Since Super Mario Odyssey is number 6 now, how much more has Sword and Shield sold than Odyssey?
Odyssey's
within the
at
same time period or
21,
whatever?
22.
Odyssey
Shit.
came to a grinding halt, didn't it? Pretty much.
It sold too much
Odyssey's
more
right
than
around
that's
20,
goddamn
21,
shit.
22
Yeah.
maybe.
Grinding a halt at 22 million copies of poor Mario
Yeah.
Odyssey.
No, but what I
Grinding to
mean
a
is
halt.
what I mean is Mario Odyssey was just it got
was
up
ahead of
there
Breath of the
pretty
Wild.
pretty
I know.
quick,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
then
it
it
was ahead of Breath of the
really
Wild, and
bit
it
like
just
Breath of the
kinda-
Wild. It kind of slowed down a bit then, So
Yeah.
still selling of
They
course,
need to
crazy
pack
numbers.
it in on Black Friday deals.
I
So-
think.
Yeah, I was gonna
Breath
say
of-
Mario
Breath-
Kart. They got some fucking
So
boosts from those Black
what-
Friday pack-ins.
The
and shit.
question is, what's the difference between Sword and Shield and Odyssey in terms of
2 million.
sales?
Yeah, I'd
Okay.
say 3.
Okay.
Mm.
No, 1.5.
Wait,
1.5.
what was Sword and Shield at?
I'm gonna say
20
3.5.
24, isn't it?
24.27.
I'm gonna say
Yeah,
8.
come on, Odyssey's got to be on like 23 or something. Let's go.
So
what
what difference?
think
So
so.
what's the difference?
like
A
Clark?
million.
It's like 22.5, so it'd be like 1.5.
So I think technically, clocked it's right. It's a little bit under a million. So Odyssey's is at 23.5 million.
Hmm.
So it's
Shit.
only about 7,500,000 higher.
I mean, gotta see.
Gotta see.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, my
And
bad.
that's by
Yeah.
far the best selling 3D Mario game by like 10 million now.
How much is Super Mario Party at? Because it's the game right under
Oh my
Odyssey.
god, that was at
Super
like
Mario
12
Party,
last
I
time.
told you.
So
I
where
wanna
is
say,
where is
Bitches
it?
is climbing.
Where's
I would say like
Superstars,
12
man?
million.
Fuck, that's at. I bet Super Mario Party's at 15.
12. I would say that
Well-
bitch is at 19.
Oh come on!
Yeah,
It
it
can't
could be
it
at
can't
20,
it can't be
yeah,
past.
honestly.
Is it past
I'ma
like
say
30 million
19,
or something?
19 million.
So wait, I got everyone I think but clocked it and Robert. Where do y'all
I don't
think
even
it's
know.
at?
So it was at 12 before?
Yeah.
Oh, because that's what I said now.
But I'm thinking because of Superstars, it might have halted, but I guess not.
It's called
I'll put it
Super Mario
I'll
Party.
put it this way. I'll give you this. Superstar has sold less than half of what Super Mario Party sold.
What is it at right now? Oh, I guess yeah.
Yeah, that would give away the
Just
answer.
give
Yeah,
the
yeah.
answer.
What is it at?
33
Super Mario
million.
Party. Super Mario
14.
Party's at 17.78 million.
Jesus Christ.
Holy shit!
And
Miles off.
it's fucking disgusting.
I
It-
thought
it
it
has-
was
Right.
One, two,
Wait,
switch is
but that
probably
means-
at 15.
Wait, but that means Superstars at
they don't have 1-2 switch on here, surprisingly enough. They did
Superstars
put-
at like
So
7
you're telling
million.
me, look, all you sales bullshit ass games selling 17 million copies, and we can't get a fucking F-Zero. We
I
can't get
know,
a
man.
Star. Oh no, we can't do. We don't know what. Fuck off.
Tell him, T. Tell him.
Wait,
And
but
just-
hold on,
and
that
just
means
to give
Superstars has
context-
what?
Superstars is at 6.88 million.
I mean, still
Oh.
from October to now,
God
third.
damn.
That's
God
like,
damn.
October to March.
that's not bad then.
Well, that shows.
Didn't
that
they
like,
release-
That's fucking
didn't
great,
they
dude. 6 mil,
release-
6 mil of any game is great, but let's
And I know T T done his video and he's we're all reiterating that point, but it's just like if there's any fucking time now, right? The chances of us getting Luigi's Mansion 4 are just up there now. The chances
Yeah,
of
it
us
is.
getting sequels to every single game that is sold like this on the Switch now
But-
is up there.
To do to do a question specifically for Robert, what is Ring Fit Adventure at currently?
wasn't that at because
That
last
has gotta
time
be like 13,
I remember
14.
seeing. I think I saw this. It was like 11 or something, right? 11 something.
So where do you
million?
think it is at now then?
Oh, it's at now. Oh shit, it's over that. Holy crap, that's awesome. 14. Is it
Yeah,
14?
literally, it's like 14.09.
Dude,
I
what
said
a fucking
14,
game.
Yeah, he did say 14. Yeah, it's fucking
What a game,
ridiculous.
yo.
But the biggest question that has yet to be
Deserves
answered:
it.
where the fuck is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at?
45.
Oh,
ain't
fuck
it?
off.
43 million.
43
Y'all
million?
gotta be real about it. I don't want no points. I want just straight numbers.
43.767.
45 million.
44,800,000.
43.67.
Okay, and
47,300,000.
okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. I think it's between T and Juice. Y'all are really close. It's 45.33.
Yeah, I said 45 initially. I backed up. God damn it.
Yeah, because you were at like 44 and some change, and I was like, I mean, that's close, but I think
I said
T's the one who said
44.68. That's
45
yeah, but
million.
I think Juice was higher than that. I thought.
Initially, I said 44.8 afterwards.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So that's why I was
Damn,
like,
Initially
okay,
said
okay.
45.
That's fucking banana.
that's nuts. So just to give context for that, that means between the top 3 games, I think you're already over 100 million between just the top 3 games, which is Mario Kart, Animal Crossing, and Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers being at 28.17 million. It's also hilarious to me that like the bottom half of the top 5 are really close to each other. Smash is 28, Breath of the Wild is 26, and Pokemon's 24. But then you go from Ultimate to New Horizons, which by the way is at 38.64, and it's like, oh, I guess we're just fucking making money hands over fist now.
Just to give
Also-
give context, would Game Pass even exist if Halo was selling 45 million?
Yeah,
and
right.
Forza was selling
Hell no.
30.
It would
Absolutely
exist, but it wouldn't have first party games on
I
that
don't think
shit.
Game Pass would exist if their games sold 10 million.
Yeah.
I would agree.
It's
And
an
I
interesting thought, would you still need to go with it? Well, I mean, Nintendo are going with their
yeah.
service, with their
And I
retro
guess-
games, but
I guess I'll throw in some minor things. Mario Golf is at 2.35 million. Let's see, WarioWare is at 1.27.
That's cool.
3D World plus Bowser Fury is at 9.43.
Fucking hell.
Dang.
That's high. That's
New,
high.
New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe is at 13.
Jesus.
And-
That-
oh, that's right. I forgot about this. And Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are already at 14.65.
14.
So
Arceus is at 12.
yeah, Arceus is at 12.64 right now. And
Bro, those
Splatoon-
games came out legit like 2 months apart.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
fucking.
And I wonder
yeah,
how many of the people that bought Brilliant Diamond but also bought Arceus, probably 90% of the same.
It's probably it's probably
Stupid
high.
I think
bastard.
90. I mean, I don't know if it was that high.
Stupid
I'd say at least
I'd say in
70.
the
maybe.
70s.
Yeah, 70.
Also,
maybe.
apparently, Game Builder Garage is at over 1 million now. I don't know why
Oh.
the fuck. That was such a weird thing at the bottom that threw me off. I was like, oh yeah, I guess I forgot about
Builder
Game.
Garage.
Hey,
That's
man,
at
I think that's cool,
1.06
that's
million.
cool.
All right, cool. I guess
So,
I guess.
I want to hear what Good Jobs sold.
Well, I don't even think they're gonna put that bitch.
No,
on.
I still
There's
haven't
no
bought that,
physical
but
copy of it.
we still play Moving Out. Really enjoy Moving Out.
Dude,
did
Good
you?
Job is a good game. That's why I want to hear its numbers.
Oh, and new. And I guess a new Pokemon Snap's at 2.4 million. I think that's the only
Yeah,
other
that
one I
seems
see.
low.
I actually thought
That's
that
low.
was
That's
higher.
low for a
I did think that was
Pokemon
gonna be
game.
higher.
That's low for a Pokemon game. Yeah, definitely. But
That's pretty
people,
good.
act,
Yeah.
too
people
good.
act like
Too
Snap.
good.
People act like Snap was some sort of phenomenon. Like it was a fine game, but like
Man, that was a
it's-
phenomenon.
it
Shut the
was-
fuck up.
But
Hey,
still,
man, that's
It
still
was.
outsold.
It really
That's
is.
still
I
outsold.
never
it's
understood
low.
all the Snap love. I was like, really? You care about Snap like that?
Look,
The
That's
great
good
thing,
numbers,
the great thing is though, we're here sitting like, man, 2.4, that's fucking nothing, man. All the other
Yeah.
companies would wish
Yeah.
their games would sell like a
I tell you
million.
right now,
except
Housemarque
for
would-
except for Squares. For Square, that would be
Yeah.
it didn't meet their expectations. If it was Square,
Yeah.
that'd be lower
Square
than
is unrealistic.
expectations.
I wonder
as
where Ratchet and Clank Rift
God
Apart is
damn.
because it was barely at 1 million. Like, well, it hasn't been quite.
I think it
I can
passed
go.
a
I
million.
can
It passed a
check it
million
real
when-
quick.
I don't
I'm
know.
gonna guess it's not that much better because they haven't talked about it. If that shit was selling, they'd
I'll
be
check
talking
right
about that
now.
shit, of
I don't know
course.
if they posted any.
Yeah, I'll
numbers,
be interested actually because
I know that seemed kind of low when
that
it
was
first
their game, wasn't it? Yeah.
being the
That
best
was
game
that's
ever.
crazy low, especially for all the hype. And that was one of them games that was on
that
the
was
list.
the PS5.
Yeah,
game,
you're right.
wasn't
The
it?
last time they mentioned it was back in like June of last year, and that was the whole 1.1 million
Well,
thing.
it wasn't even out in June last year, or it came out in June, didn't it?
Yeah. They haven't really talked about it since. There is no
so,
other
I mean,
sales.
it could be.
So what can you see? 1.1?
But that was like a month after it came out, or same month.
Yeah, it was like, oh yeah, you're July. I'm sorry, it was in July. They told that. But yeah, the last thing we know is that it sold over 1 million. That was about it.
Yeah, that's weird.
In July, so in a month it sold 1.1 mil, which is good.
So
but do you think Ratchet & Clank has that?
I'm sure
like,
it was front heavy though.
It could be at 4 million.
Almost every game. I was say almost every game.
I don't know how many PS5s there are.
How much did Crash Bandicoot 4 sell for? Because
well, that was on every fucking console.
It clearly didn't sell much.
The Insane Trilogy did really well though.
Fucking closed the fucking.
Well, that's the problem. So Crash 4
on Call of Duty and shit. So
Crash 4 sold. I remember Crash 4 selling like 20% of like what the remake did. Some weird thing where it was like, oh, that's not good.
I wonder if they came out with Crash 4 first, if that would have done better.
The last sales numbers I see for fucking Crash 4 is like 402,000 digital. Well, no, that's just digital. What the fuck was
in its first month?
What the hell was the?
That was in the first month. I could see that. Okay, but
they haven't really talked about it.
I'm sure it made them money, but not enough for them to be like.
They should have just came out with that first.
The only reason I brought it up because we're just talking PlayStation mascots, like in terms of their platforms and stuff.
We gotta test the waters with the trilogy. No, don't do that.
I think what they did was remind people that the game wasn't as good as their nostalgia told them it was. I kind of
poor man's Mario. I said it back then. I say it now, man.
Watching streamers and stuff and reviews.
Y'all are some fucking savages.
You jank ass controls. Oh fuck!
Kind
I don't
of like
want this
a
anymore.
Bikini Bottom game.
We don't talk. Hey, let's don't bring that up, man.
Like, yeah,
I like that game, but that game isn't as good
as I remember.
Dehydrated.
Well, my problem with that game is that it wasn't really 1-to-1, and you could feel it in certain areas. Like it was a nice effort. It just wasn't the effort I really would have wanted. I wanted the original controls. Damn it! Better fucking.
I mean, but even if you, we'll see. I don't know.
It's still like
everything surrounding the controls are. They gotta be apparently amazing. Apparently,
I waited to play that, and then I heard all the reviews, and I'm like, oh, I'll just play the original then.
Yeah, the original control is better.
But hey, Rob, there's fans out there, right? Yeah.
Yes.
There's fans who love Crash 4. You know, that's the main
Me,
thing.
I'm one of them, bro. I like Crash 4. Crash 4 was good.
I can't join Crash 4. I haven't played it, so you know.
Crash 4 is legit a good ass game.
I thought graphically it looked quite nice.
The last like few moments of the game, they get so like trial and error that it gets a pain in the ass.
It's a hard platformer, and that's
but it's like hard to the point where like when you do it, you're like, come on, what the fuck, man? I have to do.
That's what Crash is. Crash is some bullshit.
Crash. Yeah. When people play the Insane Trilogy, people gotta understand that when they play the fucking Insane Trilogy, they go, "Man, this game's kind of hard."
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think it's
hard because
I don't know if I want to play this anymore.
Hard because it's poorly designed.
That's what I mean. Like the last levels were legit. I felt poorly designed because of just how trial and error.
The only other thing we can mention is that Switch Sports. The only thing that was said, because obviously it came out later, is that it's off to a strong start. But they didn't give like any numbers for it. They just said it was off to a strong start.
The most important question is, will it outsell Ring Fit?
No.
You know, will it outsell Ring Fit?
What?
Will it outsell Ring Fit?
I don't think so.
I doubt it.
Yes.
Ring Fit's kind of the problem is with Ring Fit is that Ring Fit I think would have stayed a relatively mediocre game, like mediocre in terms of sales, if it wasn't for the pandemic, which I feel like made that game turn into like a low key.
But that game was selling well, or it was already selling well before the pandemic.
Well, I think
remember it was sold out before the pandemic.
Oh, we don't have enough. Oh, FOMO. I think they didn't ship much in the beginning.
Well, maybe they didn't have
Spider-Man No Way Home pre-order ticket sales back at the movie theater. Where
what do we do? Oh no!
All of a sudden, we're worried they couldn't get tickets, so everybody bought them. It was like record.
Right.
Anyway, get back to games. Fuck, I just lost.
It's a great game though.
It's an awesome game.
What were you
it's
talking
a legit
Ring Fit.
RPG masterpiece.
Nintendo Switch Sports.
Sega Saturn.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Nintendo Switch Sports will never touch Ring Fit's numbers because the biggest thing I think people are gonna realize that when they pick the game up is playing online matches with randoms is not gonna compete with playing with your family back in the Wii days. That cool having all four people take turns bowling. It's not gonna capture that. And I think that's the biggest selling
Why
point
not?
of Wii Sports.
But
was-
it still
I
it still
do
has
that.
it still has local.
still
Right?
has
I was
it, but I
gonna
don't
say.
see people playing it that way.
All the commercials are showing local co-op, but
But at
Yeah.
that point, they already picked it up though, so the sale's already in.
That
Like
too, but
I think it's easily gonna break Ring Fit, specifically
easily.
because all those people who
Uh.
bought Wii Sports before, the Switch is at like 100 million, so it's borderline the same numbers. The people are gonna be like, hey, Switch Sport, I remember back that from the Wii day, let's buy it. That alone is gonna give it like that push in
Yeah,
sale.
A lot of people who bought
it
Wii
just won't
Sports
sell
back
the
in the
most.
day.
Yeah.
A lot of people who bought Wii Sports back in the day passed away in nursing homes and shit too. So.
Oh shit! God damn.
But I will say, and they even
I'm
had
just
they had it.
saying, a lot of those people ain't around anymore. They don't
No,
play
but
that
if
shit
you,
no more.
they had an article out, and I
Gotcha.
shared that in the chat. I shared in the chat that they had that they're saying that a lot of people that are picking up Ring Fit are people in their mid-20s that grew up with Wii Sports. So like me, and then the whole thing is that I find it very interesting that I was looking through some social media stuff, and one person I know, she doesn't play like a lot of games like that, pretty casual, but she did have Switch Sports already, and I was very surprised with that. I'm like, maybe this will cross a little bit more than I would think.
It's
Maybe.
definitely gonna outsell
Number
Ring
one,
Fit.
number one, it's not being given away for free this time, and
Yeah.
number two, the sequel, it doesn't have a balance board, man. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing, though.
that's
I
true.
don't think the word of
That's
mouth's
true.
gonna be
They
there.
already built the game in a way that they're adding shit on top of it. We're gonna get golf later and shit, so they can add more shit to it, and they're gonna keep it going, which they haven't really been doing with like Ring Fit. They're not adding like, oh, this can be added to Ring Fit, add like a hula hoop mode. We can add this. Switch Sports. You can keep building on that bitch until the end of the fucking Switch.
And I will also say,
How?
I truly believe,
Adding more sports to it.
and
How many sports do you think you can add? It's gonna be fun.
Dude, I can
motion
give you like
control.
a fucking 20. You can curling,
You can
fucking
technically-
basketball, like
yeah, you can
handball.
bring everything.
But you can
Yeah.
add
You know
like
how much
a
shit
million
that you can
sports
put
in that
in?
bitch.
You know how much shit you can put in Ring Fit?
But they won't
You
But
know
they
what,
because
did.
it's not going to sell as much.
You know what was kind of just the game itself that sounded, it was disappointing is you no longer have to release the trigger to throw the bowling ball, and like that was kind of strategic for me. Like I would always release it late, and then it would just that was the way I threw. And I'm like, it kind of sucks, but they're like, someone thinking maybe they just want people to have it flying out of their hand because.
Well, I will
they
say,
want people to let the controller go. They don't want people doing that.
I've
But
already
people
seen
still gonna break the
somebody do
fucking
that.
shit.
I
I will
I
imagine-
say,
saw
though-
what's her name, Kat on IGN, doing a soccer, and she kicked the fucking shoe off and hit the TV. So that's not gonna stop.
man,
She kicked
I
it
don't
with
feel
soccer.
like, I'm sorry, people
and
are
the fucking
stupid.
shoe
but-
flew off and hit the TV.
People are pretty
At
dumb though. There's
Nintendo
no,
headquarters, she did
how
that
the fuck
shit,
you do that?
and they were like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Oh shit!"
But I
Like,
will
you
say
have,
that
like clips already.
to
At this
me,
point, I feel some people probably do that shit on purpose because it's
On
gonna
purpose,
get you
yeah,
fucking
for
views.
clout.
All right,
Oh, yeah.
There's some clout
Robert's
motherfuckers out there.
Robert's been trying to say something.
but I was just gonna say
sorry,
that I
Robert.
know, like, you have the whole like local co-op and all that stuff, and that's fun. Obviously I like to enjoy playing with like my mom or something, but I'm the guy that played Mario Party alone all the damn time. So do you not know how amazing Switch Sports is with online? Like I've been loving it. Just
some
playing
sad
like
shit, bro.
the survival bowling and shit. Like I've been and every week they've been adding like these costumes and stuff. And I'm not a cosmetic guy, but seeing you unlocking like a different thing every single time, and I just customize my little character to look like an idiot. It's great, and I love just like legit. I think that's
You're
more
naked in
online
that
for
game,
me.
aren't you?
So you bumped
Online
this
has-
game ahead of all those other games. So you're playing it.
What games? No, but that's not just to play a little bit. You could play a round or two, and you're.
Okay.
I'm not saying like
Nah,
I'm
I
not
don't
playing
know.
5 hours of like a day of fucking Switch Sports. It
Super
adds
Mario
up over
Party
time.
sold what? With 4 game boards. What did it sold? 17 million?
Oh, you talking about Super Mario Party?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was 17.
So
With 6,
I
that
don't-
means this should be
nothing
spelled
can really
23.
that's ridiculous, man. That's
Well, it's-
that's
I'm not-
ridiculous.
We'll have to see, but I don't foresee the same word of mouth excitement for Nintendo Switch Sports.
I don't see it either.
As it
I'm
was.
agreeing with you. I don't.
And I gotta say, shit like soccer's super fun. Dude, I legit I think it's fucking great. The whole the only I always say I keep saying the only negative is that the fact that they did badminton and tennis. It makes no sense to me.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
And
And
volleyball
they
is
do
different.
feel
but
What are they doing
different.
next,
They
ping
do
pong
feel
shit?
different, but like not by a lot. You know.
Won't they add ping
That's
pong
why
while
I'm
you're at it?
saying. That's why I'm saying that they can add so many sports because like that's just a simple variation of it. You can do the same thing with like shit like basketball and whatever. Like you
Well,
can
they already
just use some
have.
of the mechanics you have in like volleyball and whatever, and like
Yeah.
change it into something else. Same with soccer. You can add like soccer mini games and shit. Like fucking soccer golf. I don't know.
Dude,
Like
trust me.
I don't want that from I don't want it from Switch Sports though.
but you're gonna get it from Switch Sports.
I enjoyed Wii Sports Resort is phenomenal on another level in terms of you literally have this island, you have all these events, and
it's
even
great.
if you didn't like one or two games, the vast majority of them all had their own were still great, and they all had their own little variations.
Yeah.
So
No, I agree.
it wasn't just sword fighting on a platform. It's sword fighting running down the fucking beach as well, which I just played to death. I don't. So if we look at this Switch Sports now, I know straight away I'm not interested in at least two of them. Badminton I'm not really interested in, and the basketball. What is it?
Volleyball looks terrible.
Volleyball.
I don't know how it is.
And the volleyball one. So what am I left with? I'm left with like 4 games in change, with hardly any variation to them. So I think as they launched
I'd rather just play Wii Sports.
Yeah, I'd rather just play
Wii U
Wii
hooked
Sports
up.
Resort. I just set that up
Wii
and
Sports
carry on
Resort.
playing
I have
that.
my Wii U right here.
That's
I play it
like
once
if
in
you
a while.
compare it to Wii Sports, okay, but it's unfair comparing it to Wii Sports Resort because that was like a whole other level. You can literally like ride around on your
No,
bike
it
on the
wasn't a whole
island and
nother
shit,
level. It was the
No,
next game.
No. Yeah.
You had
that's not
Wii
unfair.
Sports, then you had Wii Sports Resort. So now it was the next game. It was the sequel.
Technically, they call this the
and
sequel.
and
That was a spin-off.
This is
Switch
not
Sports
sequel.
can do
No, it was a
what
spin-off.
Wii and Wii Sports couldn't do.
This is a
which is
reboot,
add new shit. So you
And
can.
here's the
you can-
It's a
thing.
reboot.
And I'm gonna tie this. We're gonna tie
You
this
can
back to
compare.
Microsoft, because I forgot to mention something. But
Must we?
well, I'm gonna buy Nintendo Switch Sports and then have this cartridge with 6 games on it, and then they add golf, and then that's a download, and then they add, let's say they add table tennis.
I
Basketball.
don't like that
stuff.
shit.
And
Yeah,
then
it's not
that's a
good enough.
download.
Not
Then
good enough for me.
you don't actually have the full game on the cartridge.
Right. I don't like that
So-
shit. Just put out a full fucking game.
And the same thing has happened. It's like me and T. We've been waiting for console, Mario Tennises and golf since the GameCube and stuff. Because even in Mario Tennis was the GameCube game on the Wii. But why haven't I bought Mario Tennis and Mario Golf? It's not that they don't fundamentally play bad, but it's just that content and everything. It's just not. It's not
vaporware,
where
it's
it
not really
should have
there.
been. And I
feel
don't
with
think
Mario Golf,
Nintendo.
it
I
is
don't
there,
think Nintendo even like other companies who would then release the discs later on with all the updated content. I don't think Nintendo have done that with the cartridges. So if you bought Mario Tennis Aces now, I don't think on that cartridge is everything. I could be wrong.
No.
If I hear that,
I think if
the
you
updated
update it,
cartridge.
you get the characters. I think if you update it, you get the characters.
You have to
That's about
update
it.
it.
Yeah,
if
but
they
no,
were
if they'll
making
still just release that original core game. They won't update.
Well, you're
the
assuming
cartridge with those.
they're still printing them. They're still manufacturing them. They might.
Yeah,
not.
and I don't like that. It's not like you can buy the game afterwards where it's actually complete now. And
They did it
this-
with Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle though. They like after
Yeah, that's
the
more
Donkey Kong
Ubisoft.
shit released. After
yeah,
Donkey Kong released, they had a new
Yeah,
version.
but then they
No,
that was a
not
separate
true.
that was a separate
No.
re-release.
That's a myth. That's not true. Because I went and bought that fucking new version thinking it's a fucking DLC code in the
Hello,
fucking
code.
case.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was
Bullshit.
pissed off when I saw
Yeah.
that. I thought it was on the cart. It's not. It's
No.
DLC.
So how
And I'm
this
like,
ties
this is
into,
So like
bullshit.
Nintendo, even when they're done, they don't give you that final. Even though they're giving it all away for free, all that Aces stuff is free at the moment. All that golf stuff is free.
Yeah.
They just
Pokemon
still
stamps.
leave it as that base little package, even when
Yeah.
they're done. I don't like that.
I'm still bothered to this day about Smash Brothers. All those fucking characters, they're all in the cloud and shit. They're not real because they're not on the fucking cart.
They're imaginary. God
They
damn
need a
it.
complete
They're
edition.
imaginary.
Wait. Are you saying they need to put some Capcom tendencies in their life? Make an ultimate
just
edition?
release that shit. You think everybody sitting here wouldn't rebuy that shit? We all buy
I
that bitch
wouldn't,
again.
but-
If we knew all those characters was on the card.
I definitely wouldn't.
Yeah, that's a lot.
My game is digital anyway, so it's all digital. For me.
So
Well,
I just
that's
wanted
different.
to how this ties into back to Xbox. I completely forgot about this when we were talking about. OJ took a stand, and I was right there with him. I agreed with him, but he took some flack. One of the things that was found out with Elden Ring was it was not just Elden Ring, but when you buy actually, did we talk about this? We might have talked about this last week, where you buy.
What?
Against Elden Ring.
No, I thought we took last week off.
Maybe I talked about this on the Sandstorm thing. We were talking. I was talking to somebody. Remind me. If you buy an
Don't remember and
Xbox,
shit.
what do they call it? What's where you buy and you get the best version for your system? What's that called?
Smart delivery.
Smart
No, right?
delivery.
Yeah,
that's
smart.
okay.
So if you buy an Xbox, let's say you buy the newest Forza Horizon 5, they'd set it up so that Forza Horizon 5 Xbox One version's on the disc, and you download the Series X version if you have a Series console. It's not the other way around. So basically, OJ said, I'm not buying any more physical Xbox games until the game on the disc is the Series X version, because I'm not going to be worrying about having to download the Series X version 10 years from now if I want to play the game. And I was like, I was on, I think it might have been Sandstorm's podcast. We discussed that because that's a negative. In the future, it's a negative to the smart delivery. It's
Why are they doing that? Is that because they're still trying to have that family of systems between the both games? Or is it to
they're
save
trying to-
money
Yeah.
or size
The
of
Xbox One version is considered the base version, so like that's the bare minimum. And then they're kind of looking at the enhanced version as like DLC.
now
So that's how they're treating
it's
it.
similar on
All right, so the
PS5.
latest
Or
the
like a
latest
patch.
Forza is not actually a Series X game.
The
It's an
disc
Xbox
has
One
the
game.
Xbox One game on it, and then you download the Series X.
But if you buy digital
Or
only
Redfall?
games, can you really make that argument?
no,
like-
if you buy digital only, it don't matter. But if you
Because
have,
a lot
Yeah, it
of people
won't
buy
matter.
digital only.
but the problem
Digital only, it doesn't matter.
that's the problem that's why I didn't buy Horizon Forbidden West PS4 version, because that has the PS4 version on the disc, and then you have to download the PS5 version. But I bought the PS5
But it was
disc,
cheaper.
so it installs the PS5 version. Like there's no, that's one of the negatives to smart delivery. So he's like, basically, I'm done buying physical Xbox games until that changes. And people were getting on him about it, and I was like, I agree with that. Like,
Or you've seen like
People
funny
actually get
things
it,
where
like-
like the PS4 version actually
who's
runs
getting on?
better than like the PS5 version
Yeah.
when it's like boosted normally by the machine's capabilities and stuff. It's some odd transitions for sure.
and it's and
People in this day and age were getting on him about that.
yeah, I couldn't believe it. Like, and he had to like
I would
he
think
had to
most
like
people
show a
wouldn't give a
stack of
shit. Like,
games.
I don't buy the physical version anyway.
People are like, oh, you don't buy physical games. He had like 50 games stacked up. Whether he got them gifted or bought them himself, I don't know.
Or played them.
Or ever. I looked to see if they all looked open. I will say they all looked open. I was looking for the little reflection of the still in the wrapping, but it's still a valid point, and that is a negative. You know, with every new thing, there's always
Did he buy Mario Tennis? Get the fuck out of
probably
here.
not, or maybe probably got a review copy. But yeah, so I think that's another problem. Like the game for the console you have is not on the disc. That's just kind of dumb.
The future, man.
So that is what it is. But it would make me think I would have to consider the same thing. I mean, I do it for PS5. I don't go out and seek the PS4 version just to have to download the PS5 version.
I don't own one Xbox. I don't own one physical Xbox Series game.
I don't feel like you're supposed to.
Well, they started branding boxes with Series S and X in 2020. So like Hellblade, I think the Hellblade copy I have says it on there, or maybe it says enhanced for
Oh, they
One
did
X.
that. They did that with 360. Shit, they started having 360 and Xbox One and shit on them. So
Yeah, it's cool, but I also kind of don't like it because I'm like, where do I put it on my shelf? Which side do I put it?
First
Yeah,
world
it's-
problems over here.
Yeah,
we were-
but
we were
it's,
t-
you know,
we were-
it's
Where
just
do
that
I
collect.
put it on my shelf?
You know, it's that collective mentality. You know, where you're like,
Just
I
we
like
don't
were-
Xbox
know.
games together.
We were talking about
No,
golf
but I
games
don't like
earlier.
that. I don't like the
I
whole
remember I
it
said
doesn't-
the Mario Tennis game on the Wii was the GameCube version. They just added motion controls and stuff. But Camelot, I don't know if you played this, guys. This is a We Love Golf.
No, I had Tiger.
But that was made by Camelot, but it was actually published by Capcom, and that was kind of like the Wii's golf game. But the funny thing is, like you said, it's odd that you get these. I think Camelot done that as the golf game that they wanted to do, and I think at the time Nintendo weren't interested in stuff.
Is it good?
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
it's great. Yeah, but I just like I said, just their sports series and stuff. I think they're just everything's just so like a service now for Nintendo, and I just don't like it.
I mean, because what we looked up, like Tiger Woods games from the GameCube generation had like twice as many courses as Mario Golf did when it launched. Like, what the fuck, man? I mean,
yeah.
How hard is it to just make courses with different aesthetics?
Mario-based courses,
and they should look amazing. I'm never impressed with the Mario Golf art style or tech.
Yeah, you did say that from the beginning. I was just kind of like, I was holding out, saying, "Oh, they have courses that aren't Mario style courses, so let's just wait and see." Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they should have had more like New Donk City. Like they have the New Donk City one, and it's cool, but like.
Why not have a Hyrule field? Like, I mean, yeah, it's Mario.
But even that looks kind of boring.
The shit should be. Remember when we saw Mario Kart 8 for the first time? We should be at the point where Nintendo's, even their single and double A games, should still wow us in that regard. Like, wow, look at all the shit they're packed into this level.
That shit looks like Pixar.
Look at this. This just looks so cool. Like it's just completely
all the detail.
Missing. So it's like they should have a game engine that just has that built in. I don't know what these games use.
Camelot are completely capable. They're a great studio. I know they've been stuck on sports games and stuff. They're a great studio. I do feel like they're hampered more by Nintendo than anything else. Yeah, especially with the sports games. Like I said, the sports games now are just almost like that.
Ask Terrell.
Just roll them out as cheap as possible.
Don't ask me.
Terrell,
Don't ask me a goddamn.
Golf?
Don't ask me a goddamn thing.
Let me see the box. Hold it up.
I still have it. It's over there in the stack. I'm not gonna go get it. It is still sealed, actually.
It's
got
sealed?
A case for your Steam Deck?
It's my baby.
Does it need a case, T? Is that just to protect
keep it?
It's T.
Okay.
T was gonna get one even if you didn't need it.
I'm just trying to protect my shit. You know what I'm saying? I hold this bitch like a baby and shit.
Yeah, but I was like, T didn't give a fuck.
When you get some new, when you get some new tech and shit in the house, you put gloves on to play this shit.
Mm-hmm.
You're really protective of it.
Did you ever play Jedi
first.
Fallen Order past the opening scene that you left it on? Like you showed
it? I haven't. No, I haven't.
So we didn't really
I've been playing other shit. I've been playing a bunch of old shit.
I did finish a game yesterday. I beat Saturday? Yeah, Saturday I beat Elden Ring. Well, I beat the final boss, and it gives you the option to start New Game Plus or resume in your game, but you can't fight the final boss again because there's endings that are tied to things you do. It's still in that scene.
I started it up because I was just about to play it again, and I started the same stuff.
So
what was it 2 weeks ago, man?
Yeah. 157 hours in Elden Ring. I was at like level 167. And my favorite streamer, she's at level 155 after 67 hours, almost 100 hours less at the same level. And I don't know.
You must be slow grinding like a motherfucker.
Dude, I didn't even lose a lot of runes. Like, I didn't lose a lot of my... I mean, I felt like in the first 100 hours, I rarely lost.
Knowing your ass, you were probably exploring more than fighting.
I mean, I usually fight everything
Yeah,
I can
but I
see.
feel like he's always somewhere.
I feel like I kill everything in the area. That's kind of my strategy until it gets overwhelming. Then I start running past them. But great game, though. I mean, it's definitely game of the year. I don't know what's going to beat it, to be honest.
Damn.
Some frustrating moments, but in the end, I just got this awesome...
Starfield. Oh, wait.
Got this awesome armor and sword.
How dare you?
Clocked it, saw that. Post on Twitter. I had to... I got to a point, though, where I'd say first 110, 120 hours, I barely looked up anything. It was just like... Oh, what does this item do? I didn't read what he said real. Very minor, very few, far between.
Yeah.
I'd say the last 40 hours, I was looking shit up constantly. Like, okay, I met this NPC. Where's this stupid grape for this character? I'm 100 hours later, and I still don't have the item she needs. So I looked it up. It's just fucking right near where she was. There's a hidden path, and I was like, so I started looking up a bunch of stuff, but I actually found like a ton of new areas, and then just explored them on my own. The game's just massive. It's so ridiculous. I thought I was thorough, and probably found everything there was, like as far as like the fast travel spots, the grace sites. I found like 15 since I thought that I probably had them all, and who knows how many more there are. So just an epic experience. So
Another epic experience is Returnal.
yeah, I was gonna see if you want to play
Oh,
Saturday,
yeah,
but I
you can play
decided to
Returnal.
finish that instead.
Oh, we gotta probably play this Saturday, yo. I'd be down.
So what's that? What's that other? I can't
See,
sell.
RE, World Ends, and then 2 copies of something. Angry
What's the
Video
one
Game
that
Nerd.
had- You still buying
Gotta
Switch
put those
games?
away for the collection, you
You
know.
got the Steam Deck.
Huh?
I don't need to buy those. Well, at least one of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I'm
you used to
done.
buy everything.
I'm done, man. I'm done buying.
I bet you-
Wait till you see my review, son. The Switch is dead to me.
I
It's
bet
dead.
I bet you Ori in the Will of the Wisp looks amazing on Steam Deck. I have the Steam version too.
Well, I only streamed it, so I don't know.
No. It's probably not that
Oh,
expensive.
I played it on
That's
Switch.
an
It looked good
option.
on it.
I can stream, my Game Pass that I'm gonna cancel.
Yeah, when you said that, T, I meant to
Bullshit.
say this earlier too. When you said that, like you're canceling your Game Pass, I was like, damn, that sent a message to me, like, of the impact of these delays and Microsoft not delivering.
Yeah, I'm done, man. Like that bothered me majorly. I'm like,
Understandable.
why
Was it
keep
not-
giving them
I'm not
money? Like, there's
renewing?
nothing wrong. Game Pass is great, but this is how I protest.
Yeah.
Because Game Pass itself is fine, it's great. But I'm like, you built this service up with the intent and the idea of putting these major first party games on it day and date. That is a big selling point for this thing. But you don't have any fucking major first party games at this point. So I'm not gonna keep supporting that shit until you put some major first party support on there.
By the way, Death Stranding Director's Cut $7.99 on Steam, T. So you might as well pick it up.
$7.99.
$7.99.
Death
Stranding,
Death
that's-
Stranding.
That bitch could be.
That's
they
the
can give
new
me
one. That's
$7.99.
the
I wouldn't buy that
director's
shit.
Well, that's the one. That's the video game one. That's
Actually,
the video
I'm
game one.
tempted at $7.99.
I'm gonna play it one day. I'm gonna
What is
play
it
one day.
on?
Steam.
Everybody wants to play Death Stranding all of a sudden.
Yo,
Dude, I
now that
I
it's
have
cheap,
Death Stranding.
now
I'm
that
gonna
it's
play it
cheap,
one day.
it's
That shit is
tolerable.
enticing at $7 though, bro.
You're gonna get all these fucking podcasts in the future, man. Death Stranding is so good and walking around here and shit.
The
I'm just
medium.
walking, man. I'm just fucking. I'm walking and I'm
Walking
enjoying
around
the
carrying a
scenery.
baby.
What do you think the
I'm
medium
enjoying the
is on
scenery.
Steam? The medium, that game that launched on Xbox, now on PS5.
$4.99.
12.
Close. Just
No,
you got to
it's
move
gonna be like
you got to move the decimal.
18.
$49.99 still.
God
Fuck
damn.
off.
Yeah, you ain't gonna kill yourself.
It's
for
not
that
a
one.
good game. That
Ain't
game.
nobody buying that shit.
I gave it a good
That was
fair
like
shot,
I
too.
you know what sucks is that game like I'm playing it and I was just
Bored?
it's just not fun. It's not it's,
It's just
boring. Unfortunately, like
Damn.
and
I'm
I
surprised you
played
it on
that
PS5.
I
didn't
beat
know
the
you-
game. Yeah, I
haven't
played on
played it.
PS5, man.
I
played
tuned
on the-
out when
on-
I switched to
I
that
played the
dude.
Xbox game on PS5.
How close was I?
Raider.
Got to where you got to control a dude?
No, well, I mean,
Halfway?
was that because you do that a decent amount of times? Like
The
I would
first time,
that
huh?
the first time it probably let's say 40% maybe.
Let's see if it
Probably
shows
half-
my play. I don't think
maybe
Xbox
halfway.
shows your playtime. Let me
But it
look.
was
There's
one
a
of those
rumor
games.
they've been-
Dude, it was one of those
they've been
games where it was like I'd play like an hour or an hour and a half, and and it was just like, God, I gotta finish this fucking game. What's wrong with me? And it would a few days pass by. I'm like, bro, let me just play a fucking hour. I keep forgetting to play this damn game. And I play and it was like there's some parts that I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I kind of some things are a little bit intense, but a horror game I feel like is supposed to really feel intense, and I don't know. To me, like I truly believe you're looking for a horror game in the past couple years, super underrated. Amnesia Rebirth, and no one fucking talks about it. It's awesome.
So
Awesome ass
Medium, now it's cross-platform, is not on Game Pass, and it doesn't tell me my playtime. That's one of the things I noticed about Xbox. It doesn't show your playtimes, or it's at least on the PC version.
Oh, well, I guess it's also a pretty cool horror game too. Resident Evil Village. I'm liking it.
Yeah, the opening's amazing.
I like how you said it as like an afterthought.
If the whole game was as good as
it's funny because I'm thinking like horror games in the past few years. I'm like, wait, I'm sitting right next to one.
I wonder if you'll complete Turok without looking anything up, or you'll get lost finding
I got lost in
the
that
first level 1 keys and stuff like that. You'd be like,
really?
Fuck out of here.
Dude, I gave up on that game. I got so lost.
Really?
You gave up on Turok?
Yeah.
That's how
You
that's
can
how, like,
easily
like
you
a
can
maze?
easily walk past some of the keys. Yeah, it's a.
I remember getting frustrated.
I would say
That's old school.
Well, that's what you playing on N64. You might as well play that shit. It wasn't nothing else to play.
I never got to the T-Rex. I think they're.
No, it's still built really well, but at the end of the day, he's got the PS4 version, and we were looking through fog as well on the N64. We're trying to
I don't
go through some areas, made it difficult.
Specifics. I just remember the platforming on. I don't know if it was the controller or just the controls themselves. I remember the platforming was really frustrating for some of those small.
I thought the platformer was pretty
I
solid.
thought it worked really fucking well originally. It was perfected in Prime and stuff like that.
You had to jump on these tiny pillars at one point. I just kept failing. I just gave up.
Yeah, then he goes.
But
another horror game.
Everybody's talking over you today. I don't know if you're on the app or if you're on the webpage or what.
Poor Robert. I'm sorry, man.
No. I was saying that another horror-esque game that you should play, and I'll bring it up again, is Returnal. It's not really a horror game, but there's horror elements.
I would say
you fell in love with that game, huh, bro?
Dude, that game is fucking awesome.
Robert was putting 5 hours a day in that game.
Bro, there was when I beat the game that day, I told Juice I played the entire
fucking day. Because I challenged him
day.
to finish Act 3. You're like, oh, I got the credits. I'm like, dude, Act 3.
No, but bro, I told you, I told you
that
I was gonna play it because I enjoyed the game enough. But I was also saying that if someone stopped, I'd understand, like, they technically finished it. But dude, that game's so good. It seems so fucking good. We're just like legit. And we were talking in the chat. I even said, like, I still can't believe it. I still can't believe it that I managed. I was like not very good. And then all of a sudden, just I found that gun, the
gun
thing
that I
like
was telling you about the whole time.
And I started using it. And once I finished Act 2, once I technically basically the second run to finish the game, right, to get to the credits. From there to Act 3 and actually doing it a few more times, I legit did not die once, and I was just fucking going like a madman in this game.
I think they patched the game. How many times did you pick up that electro pylon driver and it only had 2 shots?
It was only I would only find it like once per run, so I was, technically, I guess you could say I was lucky.
I would get
right?
it, and it literally only shot 2 pylons. I'd get one
Really?
that shoot 2, 3 pylons, and then you were like, "Oh, I got 6." I'm like, "Yeah, that's the best I ever got." So I don't know if they
really
tweaked it at all.
I mean, again, I know you're saying as if I didn't do a damn good job.
I think they tweaked it though, because somebody did say in the last update that they had tweaked some. Possibly
no, but they tweaked the tower. They were saying that they tweaked the tower of Syphilis or whatever.
Which we need to try. So anyway,
we need to try. Yeah, definitely.
I'm just glad that I'm not the only Returnal fan anymore.
If you own a PS5, go pick up that game. If you don't own a PS5, go buy a PS5 and pick up that game. That is a system seller.
Don't tell us to pick up modern games, right? When you've got your big ass back of the backlog of classics that you haven't gotten through, right? Play Link to the Past. Then start suggesting games to us, all right? Until then, just shut up.
Man, get the hell out of here. I just finished my 20th game this year. I don't want to hear shit. Games.
21. Finish Link of the Past without looking up or no more than 5 things.
5 things to do
just challenge yourself. Just for fun, not for because it's super important. But I think I actually had to look something up on my recent playthrough where I just missed somewhere in Zora's Falls, there's like a cave behind a waterfall or something, and I missed one of the magic items, the medallions that I think it was to open Death Mountain and in the dark realm. You have to stand up there and you have to. It's like a magic medallion. I forget exactly what it was, which one it was. Like, where the fuck is this? I'm this far, and it was just some random spot in like Zora's domain, like just a hidden passage under a waterfall or something. I was like,
There should always be a hidden passage in a waterfall
like,
in every fucking game.
Nothing random. Nothing random in that game. It was a secret behind the waterfall. Nothing more. Nothing less.
I know, but my back in the day, I found it without question. But when I played it,
I was like hooked for a while on like Link to the Past randomizers. People would play that for the last 2 years and shit, where like all the items in chests and like entrances are like randomized. It's great seeing people trying to figure that shit out.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite memories.
That sounds frustrating as shit to me.
It's really cool to watch.
He's a man like.
I noticed the.
He's a man like. That sounds like. He's like, that sounds like some bullshit, man.
I love the game. The game historian doesn't. He seems to stick to Mario. He hasn't made any like Zelda ones, so I'd love to see a Link to the Past.
Because the plumber is goated.
It looks like he's going in order, kind of. So it's like maybe like
Mario Paint.
I've been doing this shit for like 10 years.
Oh, Mario Paint for like
There's a lot of Mario games. They keep releasing them.
His Dreamcast one was done so long ago. He needs to redo that because he was like super rough.
Some of his early ones, woo.
Yeah. But anyway,
I mean, that's everybody's early video. Like, what the fuck?
As a content creator, you grow and you change.
Yeah. It sounds
sometimes
like a
you're like
person too. I don't know.
He looked like he was shooting that bitch through a goldfish bowl.
Wow.
That was like everyone in 2009, though. You know, that's just how it was.
Fish lens.
2009.
The fish bowl.
Well, we're gonna wrap this up.
I had a 720p HD camera back then, so I don't want to hear that shit.
You're different. We can't be like you, T.
I ain't saying shit, man.
Good to have.
I believe in movie maker.
We had the full crew back for once in a long time, and yeah, it was good. Everybody talking over everybody. We're all excited about the topics, and everybody wanted to get their say in. So it was a good time. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll probably be back next week. Do it all again. Peace.
Steam Dick.
Steam Dick.
Steam Dick.
Get some of this Steam.